Hey, Keith, go ahead and unmute since you're a pro.
Hey guys, welcome to KATG VIP.
Okay, all right.
I knew it.
Okay.
You know what? If I figured out this whole muting thing, no one would have known.
When
We
one
almost got you.
practices to deceive my son.
I might have been practicing since last week. It was the quick draw event on the mouse click, but apparently there are different mice, and I didn't get the right species.
How would I know how to use a mouse?
What kind of cheese have you been feeding? Because I used Munster, and I assumed everything was good enough for all of the mice.
I just want you to know that you are placed in between me on screen. And wow, your dad in stereo. It's
Right.
uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. Welcome to Keith and the Girl VIP night. We're so excited to bring you 4 shows in one night, starting with the great Keith Malley's brother, Ken Malley. Ken, do you think it's weird that your dad is so interesting to so many people?
Well, he was interesting to us, just in a different sort of way.
It's like yeah, I always said talking to my siblings. We all talk, we always did. My dad keeps being in denial about that when he tries to give us all different information. But I always said how like it's getting back from a day of war and you had each other to talk about it. So nobody ever said war is not interesting.
That's true. There are a lot of movies about war, and I think there will be a
Right.
lot of movies about the Malleys, even though nobody knows where they are, or if Ken, you might be the last Malley, for all you guys know. Maybe you were old Malley, maybe you were a entirely different name. Nobody knows, but eventually this will be in history, and people will study you fucking freaks.
We're going to get a Psych 101 class. I'm already in talks on getting this in universities across the world.
Oh,
We're going to
good.
be the case study. It's a credit semester.
Daniel is writing in the chat here. You're younger and somehow more attractive brother Ken. I get what you mean by somehow, so I'll take that in.
For the record, I wrote that on my phone. Just,
Under Daniel. I was
your
like,
brother
whoa.
Kenneth is amazing.
Tara Lynn is saying, Keith has really lost weight. Where have I been? No,
These are very weird compliments for one or possibly both of you. And
the chat is now closed. The chat is now closed. Damn
it. Do you think, Ken, that it's weird? Like, your brother's been podcasting for 16 years talking about his daddy issues, but now you guys actually have a show called Daddy Issues. Did you think you had that many daddy issues?
I have been telling everybody that I was doing podcasting for 16 years. Basically, I was ghostwriting the show.
I think we might have had to call it, Malley and the Girl, because you guys are so interchangeable. We now understand there's not magic to Keith. It's just one of the few of you.
Oh, I took away your uniqueness. I'm sorry, Keith. That's on me.
It's funny how it's never like, it never ends up a compliment, even if it's a celebrity and we know they're sexy. When you say somebody looks like somebody, it's never a compliment, even if it's dead on, right?
Are you trying to say that it's not a compliment when we tell Ken that he looks like you?
It's weird. But if people say he's handsome, then it's fine. But then at the same time, like, do I? What? I don't know. Okay. By the way, here are the cards. They're a reference on Keith and the Girl the other day. Look at this. So, of course, speaking of daddy issues, there's the VIP show that me and Ken do. And
you put these in book form?
He put them in book. It's another book. This is the book he was working on.
Oh,
pictures, a card. And he's done.
I think what happened was, you remember the day or 3 that he spent in that home that your mother's staying at? It was Crafts Day, and they made this, and he's been holding on to it.
Yes, look at that. It's best wishes written 57 times. And then of course a Bible lesson on the back.
What's the insert?
It is actually from the birthday card, but the insert is best wishes, 47 times like The Shining, and when the grow on +1 best wishes.
Oh,
yeah. So that was
So all is forgiven, right?
It's so weird. So even on daddy issues, we scammed him again. And we started a romantic affair. And this is before, for the record, if it's important, mom was diagnosed and went into a living facility. Uh, he was interested in this woman, Bridget. And then I'm like, Dad, it's me again. Okay, I told you about Kat. Now this girl, Bridget, we made up a story because a listener showed one of Dad's books he got somehow, and it was signed to Bridget. So I acted like, oh, it's Bridget.
Right.
You signed it at church. You gave it to me, and blah blah blah. And then he goes, "No, I knew it. I got you, you dumb son of a bitch." And he sent that at like 3 a.m. And I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna regret sending that one." So all this was going on. He tried to fuck my ex-wife. I prove it at keithandthegirl.com/dad to him. And there's that little, I know it sounds strange, there's that little Hitler video that's 3-4 minutes long that makes it very clear, I know, and he's still in denial. And then, so I assume that's the end of everything. But like Ken's saying, here's a card. You can't argue with a card. Pictures of you and your dying mother.
A picture is worth 1,000 words, right? And there's how many pictures there? Like 8?
Right.
That's so many thousands of words. You ever try to write like an essay in college? Remember how exhausted you got after 2 paragraphs? That's 8,000 words.
He did write 4 words in here, like a cute, happy Sundays of innocence, and they're spelled wrong. So stick with 1,000 pictures where they're all spelled right.
And now you owe him 8,000 words. Obviously, that's a contract.
That's
But
how this works.
you know, like I said before, when your mom was around, Keith used to get money. So this is somehow just, he's regressing into childhood like a homemade card.
Right. And it felt like money because it's a thick stock so that you can put pictures on it, and then the stupid best wishes thing on the inside. And I'm like, I still won't talk to him or thank him, but this might be $50 in here.
Do you
Plus-
still have the envelope from that card?
I have no, I threw it out, but I looked in it.
See, no, did you look in detail? Because it said, by opening this envelope, you hereby accept the terms and conditions therein. So apology has been accepted, and now you guys are good to go. So quite frankly, if you show him any attitude at this point, this is
Man,
on.
you guys have more daddy issues than an 18-year-old stripper. That is just.
Should I send him back? I think I just sent him back a picture, but there's nothing with it. It's just a picture. Here's a fucking picture.
I think you should send him a letter to the wrong address, and then when it comes back, take a picture of that and send that to him.
Right.
Send him a letter to the church and see if he ever gets it.
And
You'll let him for sending your thing back.
Right. Well, that's the church. I don't know if it's an apartment, but I do remember I lived in that office area when I was 18, waiting to be kicked out. And so it was like, you live here until you're 18, then I'm kicking you out. And so it was a couple months. And during that time, he called that, it's a house, of course, in the middle of a big field. This is your apartment number 1. And then to communicate with me, he put mail through to the postal service to get stamped and returned. And then he would go, "Oh, you have a letter," and it's from him trying to express something, and horribly expressed. It's still to take control in a trick, but it's just, "Hey, you have a letter?" And I'm like, "Okay, thanks." And then he leaves deliberately. He leaves fast, like, and that's over with. Now you're reading my letter. He did it a couple times. He sent me letters to the house, to my apartment.
Where was apartment 1?
His
I
office.
only lived in this house. Why would I know this, right? This is my secret to happiness, is I forget like every negative thing that happens.
The basement. Do you remember this basement, Kent? Do you remember masturbating in that basement?
That was good times.
He's whacking it, right, folks? And Dad.
Okay, this is not part of our contract. I have a specific list of things that we don't talk. I get a plate of blueberries from Iceland before every show, which I'm still waiting on.
I thought it was so cruel because Dad brought up this story like to us, and we're like, we know what the story is, okay. And he's like, Dad saying it, we're like, okay. Then he was. So Ken masturbated in that room. We're not allowed to lock doors in our house. We can barely close them, but you definitely can't lock them.
I know, you down to even the bathroom you weren't allowed to lock, right?
Correct. There's no reason to lock a door. And then one day, tell me if I'm saying this right, Ken.
You gave them a reason to lock doors.
Dad sees the doors locked. Is like, starts pounding on the door, like, come out of there. And Ken's, this is the way I understand it. Ken zipping his pants. He's like, 1 second. I think I dropped something. You open this door right now. He's like, okay. And you can hear a belt buckle moving. Okay. I'm right there. I just, I'm whatever. And he's obviously pulling his pants up. Like, and Dad knew what was happening. He's just trying to fucking embarrass him or catch him, as if Dad wanted to have that conversation anyway.
Keith, this is very weird that you can recount your brother's masturbation.
No,
but I
that's
didn't
not
know.
the weird part. The weird part is that he can, and I honestly do not remember this at all.
He's remembering your trauma for you.
We
And
look
that's
so
so weird
alike. It
because
was me. It was.
Ken is repressing so hard. He has no idea why he likes to be yelled at when he's having sex.
Wait, you're saying
Somebody's
that's not a
pounding-
good thing?
Lothian or Lothian is saying, my dad used to do this too, send mail to him in the same house, except it was always bank statements. Weird. So whether that means, because your dad doesn't send you bank statements, right?
It was really the credit card bills. You can cover this month, right?
It seems it was sent to you. Well, Dad, you must have told him that then.
He who receives the mail is
Legally.
he who pays the bill.
Legally, you have to read it because it was postmarked.
Now,
It's
before
tampering
we
with mail
bring
if you don't.
Right.
Before we bring on the next show, did you hear
Yes.
from your dad since then? Because you did not respond.
I got an email. I did not respond about the cards, but I did get an email since then. And here it is. No subject.
It's adorable
Because
that people
either-
can see that.
That's fine. That's fine.
You know who does that? You know who puts screens up to the thing like that? Over 40-year-olds.
Right.
No, that worked there. But like before, of course, you just get that big whiteout effect. Oh, we just
Yeah.
see bright light. You might as well be holding a flashlight.
Sure, but this is just for audio. In the video, people are gonna feel like they got a bonus, and you didn't have to call me out, Ken.
Touche.
So anyway, it says no
Guys, it looks
subject.
amazing, and you can see every detail like it's HD.
I think I don't know. I think I wanted you to like half see the formatting or how short it was.
Right.
No subject from Mike Malley to us. And by the way, I always use, for most things, I use info at Keith and the Girl. So the other person sees it's
And
going
we keep
to.
telling him to stop doing that, but that's okay.
It's been years now. What am I going to do? Start a new email? So that means Dad is writing to Keith and the Girl and knows it. And it's like, I know what they do there. I know that I'm being made fun of, but if I want to fake trick my son, it's the only email I can write. So I bet I'm so fucking clever though.
Tell him to start writing. He should start writing to support@keithandthegirl.com.
Right.
It should be daddy issues at keithandthegirl.com. You know what? Every time you correspond, do it from a different email and say, can you start emailing me from now on to this email?
Right.
My daddy 86 is at keithandthegirl.com.
It doesn't matter anymore. I think you're right. By the way, somebody asked this during when we were behind the scenes doing a mic check. Have you read Dad's books? Or are you not sure if you have?
No.
the way I
We went
watch
over
a
this
bad
before.
movie.
Remember where I thought I did, and then I listened to the show where the interns read it, and I'm like, well, I don't remember that or that or that
Right.
or that. What book did I read?
That is so
Calvin
fun.
and Hobbes.
By the way, if you want to go to keithandthegirl.com/dad, it has all that stuff right there, of course. But if that seems overwhelming, listen to just the reviews. It's a little lower in the page and you can click on them right there. And oh my God, that's sad. That's in my blood. All right. So this letter is no subject. Usually, of course, there's no subject or the whole email is in the subject. You know, these people.
He embraced texting before texting even existed.
That's right. He wrote, in case you are interested.
Go on.
I'm fascinated. I said, I'm not talking to you. I included all the kids. I emailed /dad. I said jingling libido. I said this disgusting father of yours is hitting on my ex. Do what you want. This is what I have to do.
No, son. You once said that you were going to take your grades seriously when you were 10.
Right, my grades.
And I seem to remember you getting an A- on your spelling test because you didn't know the snurf words.
I didn't. That's true. That's true. What was that? What was snark? It was like
They're like words that they weren't spelled like they
Oh, right.
were
Right.
pronounced.
So he wrote, so after all that, here's the email. In case you are interested, I sing you happy birthday while standing in the dining room. Happy birthday, Keith.
I had forgotten how to use a phone. Your mother was in charge of that.
We
So
know
I
things
hope you
are,
can hear me.
I'm not insane. We know things are weird between us. But I just want you to know.
He put
Are
it
you
out in
pic-
the universe,
Right.
you know,
Are
and
you
then let you
picturing
know.
that? I picture it. He's just standing in the living room going, happy birthday.
If there wasn't a level of fanfare, I definitely would be disappointed.
It never happened.
Oh, you don't even think he sang for you?
I don't think it happened.
Ask him if he was in his underwear at the time. What were you wearing?
He was, right? He walked around under all the fucking time for
Did
being a
you?
prude.
Did he really?
I remember it. Yeah, I know what the underwear looks like. It's supposed to be white. It's kind of yellow, but not from piss, from wear and tear. And yeah, and he'd kind of walk around in it. I do
All right,
remember that.
both.
He'd have a shirt on. He'd have a shirt or half a robe. I forget, but I do remember the underwear a lot.
Half a
Both
robe?
Ken and I just
Yeah.
repressed that as you were saying it.
Right.
We no longer know what you just said.
I
No,
didn't
there's-
even realize he was talking. I thought we just had like an awkward minute of silence. Like, should I say something at this point just to break this up?
Philip is saying, wait, rewind. What happened? What? Now, so my dad is just saying, in case you're interested, I sing happy birthday while standing in the dining room. Happy birthday, Keith. And I would just melt and be like, here's all my ex's phone numbers. Because that is beautiful that even though we're going through a thing, you sang it. And he's such a dramatic singer, right? He was the guy in church always, amen. And he goes, man.
And then he stands up and walks to the center of the crowd and said, if you guys love God and took this seriously,
right,
you would perhaps sing along with me with the same level of vigor.
So there's no planet where he's singing the whole happy birthday song and didn't record it and get it to me. That's how I know it never happened.
Right.
You might be interested. Well, here's the MP3 file. That's the, if you're interested. It never happened.
Well, he doesn't want to do that because your mom's not around and he won't be able to harmonize at the end. So what's the point?
Right. Kyle says Daniel is safe from your father's advances because she has all those children and would just be taking advantage of his fortune. That's true. Yeah, she's safe because he can't be tricked. Watch if she wants all your money. Yeah, great. Okay, but I brought her over anyway, and maybe you don't say that in the hallway when she's around. But okay.
These are details. How many times have we talked about this?
Right. All right. Let's bring some more people in, ladies and gentlemen. You know them, and you know them. It's Down to Earth Adam Brown. It's Hollywood Craig Klein.
Ow!
We know each other as the Beaver Boys. We put a little show together called the Diamond Dogs.
Will they come?
Mm.
I'll keep a friend serene. Will they come? Oh, baby, come unto me. Will they come?
I love every song.
They
slower.
do.
Well, she's come and been gone. Come out of the garden.
Come out of the garden, baby. You'll catch your death in the fog.
Young girl,
That's right. What do they call
they
them?
call us the Diamond Dog. Oh, Jesus.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Hey, guys.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I was just sitting here thinking of you. I was playing our song
Oh, no.
and on Zoom, and I didn't even realize. Wow, great to see you. Great to see you.
Well, it's good timing. It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
I guess we did have this scheduled. That's right.
Looking at it, we did kind of plan it, right? Think about all these little skits and bits we kind of had planned. How you doing, Adam Brown?
Doing great. Yourself?
That's great. Craig Klein? That's my
Hey.
business. Okay. Ken, welcome to Diamond Dogs. Henda, of course, welcome to Diamond Dogs. Henda's the third woman to ever be on Diamond Dogs. Bianca Brady, of course, the great Sue Costello, who can beat her. Keep your eyes open. Everything's about to be blown open in Hollywood.
When are we having the Sue back? That's
I'm
all
watching.
I care about.
I go, I'll do keithnegro.com/Sue and you give me all these fucking articles about you blowing
She
up in
promised.
Hollywood,
She promised.
and we're waiting. We don't know what year it's going to be, but hey, when you're ready, you're ready. Well, you know, what can I tell you? All right.
Well, let's see what I could promise you guys by the end of this. Okay, it's good to be here. I really appreciate you letting me crash.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna grow my beard out to be on the show, but
Actually,
I
you should
shaved mine
shave your
off,
head.
so we're the same.
According
Oh.
to this room, majority rules.
Hello. We don't put our hands up like that,
yeah,
Adam,
that's
but
weird.
Okay, so we'll go around the room. We'll start with Henda because she's the guest, and then we'll get to everybody else. Henda,
Mhm.
topic number 1 of Diamond Dogs.
Yes, thank you.
What are you yelling?
Oh my goodness.
What are you yelling, Henda?
Apparently everything, because a lot of people think that I'm yelling at them when I'm not. But I'm yelling pandemic. I'm yelling on my bike. That's fun because I have a mask on. I'm allowed to sing while I ride my bike and nobody can tell that I'm doing that.
Okay.
Or at least that's what I'm thinking. And so I'm mostly yelling, shout out to Xerxes, and I'm yelling, let's get on the bike.
Okay. Okay. When will the pandemic end, Henda?
Not for another until 2022. Thank you
Oh.
for asking. I'm here to bum everybody out.
I can't say that's not
The
wrong.
right answer was never, actually. That
Okay.
was, sorry,
Okay.
it was never. Good try, though.
Shit. All
let-
right.
Let's get to Hollywood Craig Klein. I'm not sure what you're yelling, but I saw a picture in the Beaver Boys chat room chat
It's
room of
Whitney
the three of us,
Houston.
of course. It changed to Whitney Houston.
It
Long
is Whitney
story.
Houston now.
Long story
Yeah.
when you can't explain a story.
Because it's funny when you get a text message from Whitney Houston. I think it's self-explanatory.
I remember
Actually.
our very first show, and we're like, oh, let's call Adam liked it. He goes, that's a good song, so let's use it.
Uh-huh.
Then he said something about Whitney Houston being even better than David Bowie. I'm like, then let's call ourselves Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
didn't feel that felt right. And so that's how we ended here. So I
It
guess
would be
that was-
weird
that
if
was
our
a- that was a deal
podcast was. It would be weird if our podcast listed everywhere was just Whitney Houston.
This is very strange because it's two people who grew up Jewish and then a bunch of bald-headed,
Yeah, bald,
Nazi-looking-
bearded, fucking. Honestly, if
We're the worst.
we were walking into this room together, Chemda, we would walk back out, and you know it.
We know you can just lay into us. We can't fight back. Say what you want. You're right. You don't.
Craig, you showed a
I
picture.
can't even say that.
You showed a picture of a vape, and you said, "What is this?" And of course, you knew what it was. But guess what? It turns out to be
Craig's
DM.
got a little bit of your father in him. Let's be honest.
You think so?
In our group chat, there's a lot of, oh God, the best thing happened. Well, yeah, what happened? Silence.
He did hang out with somebody. He was driving a
you
yacht with
please tell
some
us what
millionaire, and he's like,
happened?
"The shit this
Yes.
guy's telling me," and I'm like, "Oh, it's a rich guy, so he probably killed a person. What happened?" He's like, "Things happened."
Oh, just you wait. Wouldn't you
Okay.
You
like-
should have asked my friend Keith.
I assume that's the
I'm
question.
here to answer whenever you'd like to. Pay
One would
attention.
think it is a standard vape pen, but oh no, it is so much more. Would you like to know what?
Yes, I would.
All right, so
I'll tell you more in the
it's-
next email.
It is a DMT pin, DMT vape pin,
Right.
which
that surprisingly gave you a
Yeah.
hangover. You did it today.
well, I
and then
want to
you
tell
this.
everybody first of all, I can't explain how insane that is to me.
Sure.
No, I mean-
DMT is easily the most powerful drug out there, and now it comes accessible. And just you can just be on the train and just toot toot.
Everybody's
and
a skeleton.
be fucking God. All right. You know, I guess people were surprised when everybody on the block got a card too. I don't know, but it's
So
very strange.
Are you if there were no drugs, would you kill yourself?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna just let it sit there a little bit, but
I mean, I might kill myself and there are drugs.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
yeah,
I
that
think.
probably increases chances of living. There were no drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's see. Ken Malley,
Yes.
what are you yelling? What's going on in your life? What's getting your goat? What are you yelling?
this is an interesting question, okay? Because I'm a very
Difficult.
soft-spoken person. I don't yell. I never raise my voice, and quite frankly, I don't appreciate that you keep coming to me asking these questions all the time, saying, "What's getting you riled up?" Nothing gets me riled up ever. I meditate minutes every day.
And then he pulls out a puff pen.
What was the question again?
Now
Is
I'm
it
mad.
weird that I just got a little scared?
When's he? Do you punch
do,
stuff?
You do
you
well.
ever-
You're a real good fatherly figure, Kim.
Thank
I
you,
mean-
thank you. That's why I'm adopting some kids.
What I meant by good was abusive. I meant
Right,
abusive
right. I
fatherly
figured.
figure.
Yeah. Are we saying that's not synonymous?
Yeah, it's synonymous. It's synonymous. You're right.
How's you've been dating online? How's it? Is it dumb to ask how it's going? I guess I would know the answer, right? So never mind. It's not
That was a
Well,
good question. We
you
should have
guys-
these conversations more often.
You get
You guys
laid?
have the same face and the same responses. So however it was going for you when you were dating, that's how it's going for Ken.
Right.
And that's literally how our conversations go. Because Ken's like, Keith goes, hey, Ken, how was this? And I'm like, how was it when you did it? And then he goes into a whole diatribe. I'm like, yeah, it was like that.
He makes a sandwich.
Is that just to get out of the conversation, or are you
And
really
yet it's no
identifying
less
with
accurate,
him?
so,
Right. All right. Topic number 2. We'll start with Henda as the guest.
Okay. Do we usually skip over Adam?
I get, yeah, a lot of the times he does do that.
We got what
Okay,
what we didn't say what Adam was yelling.
No.
I don't know. Was I yelling?
I felt like I felt something. You know.
Yeah, we felt Adam yelling.
it was a
Yeah.
vibe.
It's a vibe.
count?
Yeah.
Yeah. I apologize, Adam Brown.
It's-
What are you yelling?
I mean, it's the same shit, right? It's
Yeah.
standard. Get your
Yeah.
shot. Don't be a dickhead.
Yeah.
I heard the recent one I heard is if all the evangelicals don't get immunization, that's enough to ruin herd immunity. So good going, guys.
See, I told you. I didn't.
Yeah, get your fucking shots. If there's no excuse now. And I'm trying to get back to work.
See, everybody happy now that I asked them. Jesus.
I know.
I will let you run
listen,
your show.
There's really nothing much to say.
Get your shots. Don't be a bitch, Adam Brown.
Don't be a
All right?
cunt.
Tattoo that.
And somehow I always walk away from Adam's yelling like I disappointed somebody as well.
It's thoughtful yelling.
Right. Henda, topic number 2. You getting laid?
Shout out to Xerxes. So I guess my way you yelling is the same as are you getting laid? It's all a big
Okay.
shout out to Xerxes.
Right. Keeping you sane. Keeping you sane. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. Down to earth, Adam Brown. You getting laid?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
It's going good.
That's not. It's like stocks. It seems with you, right?
Yeah,
It's going
it
up
is.
now.
It's like Dogecoin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking, 5 times in a week or like nothing for 2 months. I don't know.
You should hear Adam on Diamond Dogs when he describes the driest thing on the planet. Do you remember that?
Yes. Right now, the average rainfall is fucking 5 inches an hour, but pretty soon we're going back to the Sahara. I can feel it.
He's very scientific. It's Hollywood's favorite topic, of course. Hollywood Craig Klein. You getting laid?
Yeah.
He is
That sounds like not good getting laid then if it's a yay.
See, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't
What's the
matter
excitement?
what I say ever. It is always just going to be extrapolated every which way to make me a fucking asshole. I don't even know what I believe anymore, man.
So you are.
Craig,
Dude!
you should just say shout out to Xerxes.
Shout out to
Everyone-
Xerxes laying it down like
That's good.
always.
Nice. And Craig,
Yeah.
how does it feel physically?
Fucking
you.
nice.
Okay. Good to
Nice.
know. That's
Feels
all I was
nice.
ever trying to ask. It doesn't
I
derogatorise
know, but the
your
answers never
girlfriend.
change. The answers never fucking change.
Do you blow
So
it
why
on
do we
her or,
do
like,
it?
off the side of the bed?
Where do you
It
blow
Seems
it?
like you need some new questions.
That's what
We're
I'm
stuck.
saying.
We're stuck
we
with
get
these
it?
5
I-
questions.
Are
It's
you
written
bagging it
down.
and tagging it?
There's nothing we can do.
Are you free balling?
Do you bag it or free ball? Did
You know
say
what's
that,
great?
Adam?
You know what's great about Diamond Dogs is that you can always count at like the 10th minute that we're gonna have this argument again, and I don't even know how I get roped into it.
Here's
I
how
promise myself before I come here, I'm not gonna fucking cry. And then-
You guys smooch.
I
for a
know.
while first.
I know how you get roped into it. So Keith says, "Hey, do you want to do another show?"
yeah, basically.
You guys they've been together a while though, so is it like kind of like just all right? Are we going to? Or are we not? Or you start smooching and then you start go to second.
My girlfriend
mean-
knows, like, if she doesn't want to, she has to like bring it up right away. Like today, she had to
Yeah.
come
waste
in,
your time,
record
right?
her podcast, and then leave. So it's like, I just have to tell you I'm blah 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 or something, something like this. But otherwise, you have
Well,
to assume. What do you guys got going on?
Do you remember when you said
Yes.
on I think a recent Keith and the Girl episode?
Def.
I don't know if you listen, but I do. And they and you said like you're annoyed. You were talking about Gates and how he's like showing off like, look at this chick's Instagram, and I hit that, and you were rightfully
Gates.
annoyed by any type of person that does that.
Yes.
Honestly, Keith, I love that sex is continuing to be nice to you.
It feels so good.
It feels to me like you can just tell me when it stops being like that, because I'm assuming it's good for you.
But it's fun to say it's good.
It will be a surprise to me when you come at me and you're like, hey, sex doesn't feel so nice anymore. And I'm like, oh, really? Brother, do you want to talk about it?
How do I keep telling you how sex feels good on my penis?
Right.
And not sound like an asshole because I won't ask how it's going over there.
But it
by
feels
you.
very
Is that-
braggadocious. You know what I'm saying? It's similar to that of the Instagram. It's like, hey guys, my dick is always my
Sure.
penis is always feeling good inside of vaginas that let me put it inside of them.
47 years
he's not
old.
bragging about performance though. He's just
Right.
stating how it feels for him.
And
But
it
if
feels
anything,
nice for
he's
me.
bragging about her performance.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. Thank you.
Yes.
May
This is
I,
about her.
may I,
Okay, kudos to shout out to Kyle. Shout out
Thank
to
you.
Kyle.
He's
That's
showing
sweet.
love for his woman.
It's facts. It's facts.
I have a little story from my childhood. Xerxes, would you mind holding this spliff, please?
Oh boy. I hope you're old enough.
Just gonna light
jeez.
one.
Juicy.
So my father used to think it was funny to threaten to send us to some sort of boarding school when we were younger to make us shut up. And he would do it in front of my mother so that my mother would shut us up. And every single time, thank you. Every single time she would be like, oh, no, don't do that. He's going to send you to boarding school, blah, blah, blah. And as we grew up, it was like this running joke. And my mother would fall for it every time. He'd be like, get your kids to stop acting up or I'm sending them to boarding school. And she would light up and be like, holy shit, blah, blah, blah. I was always wondering when she would stop falling for it. And now I'm wondering when Craig will stop falling for Keith going, are you sticking it in?
Here's the thing, Chimda. I am well aware that I get roped into all of these things. It will never stop. It's actually just it's a blight
It's a
in my
segment on the
personality.
show. It's literally a segment on the show.
We worked on these together.
I was going to say that's on the piece of paper. He can't.
We
separate
established these segments before we ever started recording.
Craig's ripping up random pieces of paper.
Yeah, you know.
I think Hamda, you have a point. All right. Let's get
When
to
I give a
Kendra.
wedding toast, by the way, I literally write trails off, crinkles up paper. So I was, you know what? I'm not good.
Ken, you getting laid?
Son, I know that your generation is fixated on sex, but
Right.
it might interest you to know that I've had quite an interesting life as well in my time.
Are you implying that you had sex like before mom?
I am letting you know that what you think is true might not be true.
One time
So-
somebody's touched his sleeve and he
Right.
came, so he counts it.
And that was far more sexual than anything on the interweb these days.
I'm starting to understand why Craig wants to shut this segment down.
All right, let's topic number 3. Everybody knows, despite the time of the year, is football. Hemda?
Palomalo.
That's very good.
Roethlisberger.
That's correct.
1st and 10. get the kicker and call him a real player.
I
That's
think we
pretty-
can
Halftime.
call that a success.
yeah,
Beyonce.
yeah.
Trade that guy for another guy, but it's totally okay to talk like that.
Right.
Let me ask.
Concussions.
Let me ask Father Malley his thoughts on football. Does he watch that? Because I feel like he did.
I have always loved football, and maybe not
Oh,
for the
shit.
plays as such, but when the ball comes toward the player and it goes not in his hands, but a little bit lower. Oh man, I can just imagine what that feels like. Am I right, guys? Am I right?
He ruined
Cheerleaders.
he ruined watching the sports with us.
This
Like,
is so funny because I can remember you telling me this exact story, and I just saw Ken act it out, and I was like, "Whoa, that's exactly what you told me happened."
All of a sudden, like we're not. It was his way. Like he was the guy. You know, I know this isn't my stand-up, but he would. He like opens up a newspaper. And it's like, what, Dad? Oh, you're interested? Well, it
Funny,
seems
my
there's
daughter
a new...
does that literally.
Yeah.
She'll be reading something. She's like,
Right.
I'm like, yeah, like, okay.
Right. And
What
how
is
old's
it?
your daughter?
She's 7. She's
Right.
7. And I call her out on it because she cannot be that person.
So what? Good, because watching football, he'd be like, "Oh, that was a hard move."
Dad, it's a fucking commercial, Dad. That was a Bud Light spinning through the fucking air.
Right. I love football. I love the violence of it, and he ruined it for me. Like you guys know, I didn't get into football until I was probably in New York already. He ruined. Oh, like I'm like, there's no way you're doing that by yourself, and there's no way you're singing "Happy Birthday" in the fucking dining room tonight. None of these things are normal that you're pretending to do. Let's get to what you're watching. Let's start with on this one, Kemda. Kemda, what you watching?
Xerxes and I are watching 30 Rock right now, and I have moments of panic, and I go to him, "Am I Liz Lemon?" And then he goes, and he finally, after I asked him like 10 times, he goes, "You know what? A week ago, you thought you were a black lawyer fucking shit up. No, you're not Liz Lemon. You are just associating with whatever character, Frankie." And it was very hilarious to me.
Who were you the first time you were like the How to Get Away with Murder woman?
Yeah. And I never did
You
that.
had a lot in common.
No, but when I'm watching Liz Lemon, like I'm just like, oh my God, is that me? Is that exactly how I am? And then I also saw,
I see that.
I'm a little
Yeah, I see that.
And I also watched I'm Sorry, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm her also. And she has a podcast, and it's just ridiculous. And then I think I am so egotistical because I love Liz Lemon and I love Andrea from I'm Sorry. And I'm just like, wow, I guess I just love me because I'm just like watching and going like, I would say that too. That's the funniest thing you can say right there.
Am I George Costanza?
Right. She's like, Hollywood's doing it again. Do you know, by the way, that my dad invented I Dream of Jeannie?
Yes, we did.
Gross.
I was aware.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
A NASA astronaut would pick up a bottle on the sand, and it would be a genie who must grant his wishes.
How did you guys get to school on time waiting for your dad to finish a sentence?
We had to walk. We had to walk him out. you just found your way out. We were never late for the bus. We got up at 6, left at 6 a.m. Left at I think got up at 6 a.m. Left at 6:30, and no, you were out the door. No problem.
What he would have the genie do? That would be great.
Show me respect in the highest ways
by calling me master.
Right.
I love definitely something with a moist vagina in it. Yeah, mic drop.
I would like to cleanse the palate by saying poon.
Yeah, poon is so much better to hear. Oh God,
choach.
The choach is better.
I long for your moist vagina.
Your
That's where
warm,
Keith
moist-
gets all of his penis talk.
It is. It really is. It's like
There'd be a
like
grid
the-
of perfect 3x3 holes in the yard.
all this stuff is from my dad, right? Pretending that I love apologies more than all else. That's about my dad. How good sex feels on my penis. That's about my dad.
You don't just get a show with a ton of content called Daddy Issues without
A
like
daddy
this
issue?
this is the origin of Keith Malley is called Daddy Issues.
But what's funny about that is that he already has daddy issues on another whole hour podcast that he does every fucking day called Keith and the Girl. But there's so much to unpack that it deserves its own special show with receipts via a brother.
Mhm.
Adam Brown, what you watching?
Been watching my phone a lot. The fucking Robin
Stock
Hood.
market.
Yeah, too much. I have to turn. I erased the Robin Hood.
It's
I-
better
I-
than football.
I have to
It's
stop
better
checking.
than football.
Yeah, I
My
did
screen-
that for
I
5
don't-
minutes and then
I don't want
reinstalled
to see
it.
my screen time. I
Right.
don't want to see how much screen time I have. Just
Right.
so that any random second, you're like, oh fuck, or you're like, oh shit.
Right.
Either way,
Deleting
I
I
can
can
it.
make
buy
that
all
one.
of you. No, no. What? Ah! Hey, guess what I just did today? Son of a.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Doja's at 27 cents right now.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
deleting the app is like deleting online dating. And you're like, you know what? Fuck it. I can't do this anymore. I need a break. And then next day you're like, yeah, but I do need laid or get to know somebody.
Yeah.
Let me load it up. And they go, don't worry, we saved everything for you.
Yeah.
Come back.
Right.
We saved your
Hi.
credit card, your bank account, your favorite color. We got you. We got
Welcome
you. What do you wanna
back.
do?
Do you need laid?
Right.
We're here
You
for
need
you.
laid. That's hilarious.
Need laid.
I watched the Fantastic Four movie too. That sucked.
Oh, that's too bad.
I didn't
That's a
realize
bummer.
Johnny Blaze is Captain America too. The guy's fucking.
Yeah,
I
we
feel
can do
like I
everything.
don't know any of you because not one person has said that there's a new fucking Law and Order on the.
Have you guys heard about Law and Order? I don't know what Craig was just talking about, but really freaking good.
The
Sorry,
new
Craig,
one.
you were saying something about.
They were just filming up the block.
Same thing. Same. No, you know what? And it's a good. Finally, we get a Law and Order that isn't about rape every single episode,
Petty
which is
crime.
a real relief. Which is a real relief to me. And
Law and
yeah,
Order, family bullshit. I stole Ken's comic books. Law and Order, family bullshit.
No, this is organized crime, so it's really violent. And can I in the first like thing that's going on where they stole COVID vaccines.
Oh, topical.
Oh.
Ripped from the
Get
headline.
Get from the headlines, you know the
Yeah.
deal.
How
I
did
like
they
it.
come up with this?
Because
It's-
that's not going to get dated real soon.
Right. It's a test where you like show up to be a writer and they're like, so you're a writer, and you got to be like, not really. I buy a lot of newspapers. Oh,
Perfect.
good. I
Go
want
on
you to
in.
write for this show. Okay, done.
Here's your cot, and here's your
Right.
coffee.
Yeah.
Here's your jammies.
Ken Malley, what you watching?
Son, I'll tell you what I'm not watching.
Yes.
Any so-called VIP special that
Right.
makes fun of your father without bringing him on as the star of your show. I mean, if you wanted to have actual talent, I assumed you would have reached out, made a genuine apology, stating not that you are sorry, but why you are sorry.
I wonder, what if we did like for
Please.
him to send this? I thought it'd be impossible,
But
but
should
that he
offer him
sends
a
these
spinoff.
that
His own
he-
show, Father.
yeah.
Malley.
that he sends
would
these
do it.
stupid cards. I
He would
wonder
totally
if
do
I
it.
wonder if he'd do it.
He
What
might
do you
think,
think?
you know what? Even if you know it's a joke, it's like you still might
Yeah.
reach one soul.
I'd be
Right.
happy to produce that. I'd be happy to produce that.
Yes.
And let
yes.
him run. Don't
Yes.
fuck with him. Just let him
Yeah.
do
Nope.
it and put it up on.
And then, worst case scenario, if it gets really successful, then you can fire him right at the top. You can watch Doge go up, and then you can be like, Dad, I don't think that we're gonna need you anymore. We're making some changes around here.
They offered me 2 cheapo chicken sandwiches, and I knew I was in the right place. All right, final topic. We'll start with Henda, of course. By the way, Henda, you were doing a great job. You were up there with the talents of Bianca and Sue Costello, so congratulations. The final topic is politics. Henda, go ahead. Politics.
No, thank you. No, politics. Recently, New York City has become marijuana legal and safe for potheads. So, congratulations. 420 is upon us. We are thinking of going to Doug Benson's show at 420. And it was a very big celebration. I don't know if you know, but Xerxes got excited that day. And so it's very rare to see him like his version of jumping up and down. And we saw that. Would you like to see Xerxes being excited? Okay?
Yes.
Okay, ready? Okay. Tell me that weed became
Weed
legal.
is legal.
It's the visual version of nice. Okay.
This
Yes.
this is a big day. Wait for
Not
it.
even nice.
for it.
It's more like satisfactory.
Yeah, it should.
Then he goes, I'm excited. Boom.
Did he do that on his
Boom!
own, or he did that because you looked at him not getting enough?
He
And so had
knows
up
to
his
say
game?
that he's excited. He has lived on this earth for 40 some years, and he knows to say, I am excited. And then I jump up and down for him, and he's like, I'm like you right now, but like
Yeah.
somewhere else in my body.
No, aren't they
Right.
expunging records and stuff? I think
I
that's-
wonder. They say
Yeah.
yes. I wonder
Yeah,
what
which
that
is-
means.
I mean, that's huge. That's great.
Yeah. That's my politic corner. Thank
Oh,
you.
that's the new Law and Order. All the people they arrest after they get out.
Yeah. Fuck you, Ice-T.
Dude, don't ever fuck Ice-T. That's
Oh, that's
Holly-
your politics.
he's
Yes.
a saint. He's a saint.
Oh, wow.
My politics is Matt Gaetz is a sexual predator and trafficker, and QAnon is sticking up for him. I love that
Right.
more than anything.
Yeah, I doubt it's him. Right, exactly. Adam Brown, politics.
I guess I don't know whether or not to like or I mean, he's the cringiest person. Andrew Yang is just
Yeah,
he's such a douche.
he's just
But
saying
he's
dumb
got some
shit.
good ideas,
Right.
but he's just fucking he's doing the pizza song, squirting whipped cream. He put up a thing where he it was like National Pets Day, and he tweeted this is to my dog who we had to give away because my kid had allergies, but dogs for Yang. It's like,
Right. Okay.
and people are like, you dick, you don't count, you don't have a pet.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It'll be fun. I hope he wins over what's his name, the Guardian's Angel.
Oh, right. Silva, right. It is.
Yeah.
It's funny.
That
Like
fucking
there's
asshole.
a chance where we thought Yang could be president, and then it's like now he's got to fight for just to be in charge of New York. It's just funny. Politics stupid. It's fucking funny. Oh well. Ken Malley, politics.
Yes. So I just authored a bill that is on the floor of legislation at the
Oh.
moment. That is going to make all securities mandated to be tradable 24 hours a day, any day of the week. Because I got used to cryptocurrencies, letting me
Right.
do it whenever the heck I want. But then on Friday, they're like, oh, we're done. Oh, by the way, we are still trading. You just can't trade.
Right.
You cool?
That's it. It does sound
Yeah.
personal, but I like that. I like it. That is a pet project. All right, there you go. And that, my friends, is Diamond Dogs. That's how we do it over here.
Woof, 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 woof.
For all the listeners out there, I'm curtsying.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, wait. Someone
Yeah.
just said, what was your politic?
my politics. That's a great question. What's my politics? I don't know. I don't know when this fucking because of politics, this pandemic's gonna end. Everybody thinks it's over. I do like the trade whenever you want. Power to the people. That Ken's saying.
Thank you.
My
Now up to 2 votes.
Well, it turns out I just I got another a flyer. We have in June we have a Democratic election here in New York, and not as big as the other stuff, but I never know what to say when they're talking to me. They want me to promise I'm going to vote for them, and I'm always going to say yeah, sure. But they give me the thing. It's like, well, they're into blah 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 and blah blah blah. And it's like, I don't know. Like, this isn't real. You're right in front of my face. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Like, they're into they're into simplifying how you work with the government and giving sick kids to not be sick. Like, sounds great. So we we count on your vote? Absolutely. So
And also, you're in the middle of
That's
a pandemic, so can you step back as you tell me
right.
about this?
So
person?
that's how that always goes. So
Well, now you can just hold your blunt up and like shrug your shoulders and be like,
right. Am I
and
on
be
the
like,
right
"Ah,
team?
never mind. Blow a fucking fat
Yeah.
cloud in their face.
By the way,
So
if anyone is curious why all of the polls have to say there's a margin of error, it's because of people like Keith that tell everybody who calls in, yeah, I'm voting for you.
absolutely, I have to vote for 7 people, and I think there's only gonna be 2 sections. But yeah. I go because I don't know what else to say. I go, are they a good person? Yes, they are a good. I go, I love it. Put me down. What's your address? Different numbers. You saw my address. I don't know why I want to put down different numbers, but I promise I'll be there. All right. And they come in like assholes. Like, this just happened today. What comes like, bzz, like my buzzers, people don't seem to know what buzzer goes to what, and everybody gets buzzed. This person got my buzzer right, then starts walking in, Keith, with the mask on, but Keith. And I'm like, yeah. How you doing? Am I about to die? Like, yeah.
That would scare me.
And I'm doing it like, I'm kind of like puffing up my chest a little bit, but I'm like, yeah. But it's like, oh, how you been? And then I always think it's my fault. Like, good, thanks, friend. You? Well, I want to talk about this woman, Jenny, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, you could have really started with that.
They got you.
hate it. They got me. Now I have to vote for her and 6 other people that she's going against. Oh, well. All right, here he is, the host of CHU A, your fave and mine, Newsychu. How you doing, Newsy?
What everyone wants. CHU A. What everyone needs is KATG. Sounds y'all want to hear.
Oh
that?
yeah. Dun,
It's
dun,
Keith's
dun, dun.
voice. Also Hamda too.
Ba, ba,
I mean
ba, ba, da.
Newsychu. I did it in like the low register again because I was all nervous. And earlier when I practiced it, it was a little bit higher and stuff like that. But you guys get the deep voice. You get the deep cut. That's what they call
What?
it. The deep cut. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
How's
Who
everyone
is that? That
doing?
was Eve, right?
That was all of the Rough Riders. I looked up
Okay.
the lyrics, and
Right.
the lyrics are better when you include them all. So yes, but she did contribute, and we love Eve for that. So I
Yeah, it
asked
was
y'all,
Eve.
how are you doing today? Because I had a pretty good day. I woke
Oh,
up
he
with
checked. I'm
Adam.
sorry. Just to catch up, if anybody doesn't get to catch Newsy's show, he starts with how's it going, and then immediately goes into how he's doing. So
Mhm,
we're gonna
mhm.
find out how he's doing right now.
right
Newsy,
now.
got it.
Neat. Okay. Yes. Cool. It was good. It was good. Had a great morning. Actually, my TV was messing up, so I didn't get to work out. So that sucks. But then
Oh, sorry.
went over to Adam's house and was doing some like boyfriend consoling stuff. Oh, you had a rough day, and you
Got you.
sent this message. Exactly. You know, he knows what's
Adam
up.
got you.
Exactly. So then I treat him to lunch because a couple of weeks ago he watched my dog for like a whole week, and I didn't even like pay him back. So I was just like, hey, lunch is on me. So we go over to this spot.
Your
And,
boyfriend?
yeah.
You paid your boyfriend back for
But he
what? a
didn't
dog
even
with
pay
a-
him back. He
I
got him
didn't. I
lunch.
didn't pay him like physically. Normally, I would pay somebody
No, you suck
to
his
watch my dog.
balls.
Okay,
What?
dog.
Oh, sorry.
Right,
I apologize.
right.
I
Well,
apologize.
How
let's
does
see
that
where this day
compete with the
goes.
cheapo sandwich, Henda?
Sorry.
Right.
I obviously need weed. Hello.
Blunt, joint, please.
Thank
So
you.
we end up going to this restaurant where I only talk about this lunch because halfway through it, I realized what I was actually eating. I ended up getting the Abbey chicken and potatoes, which is a fried chicken breast, whipped potatoes, black pepper gravy, bacon on top of house-made sourdough bread with butter. And so halfway through the meal, I'm like instantly in a coma. It's so fucking good. And then I look down, I'm like, wait a second, did they put mashed potatoes on top of bread?
That's what I was just
Eating-
about to ask.
And it is the best thing I've ever had in my life. So I will be going back. And all that's to say, when we get back to his place, it turns into nap time. Nap time turns into blowjob time. So like we got there eventually.
Blowjob alarm clock.
It's the best. It's the best. I woke up and I was just like, hey, we only have 10 minutes before you have stuff to do. Let's use this time wisely.
Get her done.
Got her done.
I
So
like
then-
this point by Vincent in the chat. Newsy's deep voice always makes me think of two children stacked on top of each other wearing a trench coat trying to be a grown-up.
Can we get that person's IP address? Because I'm positive that we should submit that to FBI.
I promise I am 35 years old, sirs. So, and then when I get home, there was this big package waiting for me, which was this bed that I put together. I've now got like a 4-post bed in my room. It's cool. Who knows? Maybe I'll like put glow in the dark stars on it and stuff like that. But I mostly got it to hang plants.
Yeah, don't make it adult. Like, yeah.
Right. I did pay adult money for it, and it was in the adult section of the place. So I think it
Oh.
counts.
So
But,
just to be clear, so you sleep in that bed, obviously, and
Mm-hmm.
the 4-poster bed you're using to hang plants.
Yeah.
Aren't there bugs in plants?
I mean, the plants that have now, I've had since last spring, and I've experienced 0 to very few bugs at all.
Very
It's
few.
really-
Where would
yeah.
the bugs come from?
Like I guess everyone's get the impression that there's like buzzing around and stuff. There are little tiny bugs that live on the plants
That's enough for me.
that are potentially killing the plants, but like I don't know. It's
Right.
whatever. You live in New York. You guys have like roaches. I've got little tiny plant bugs. I'm good.
I'm fascinated that Keith's first thought when somebody's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna hang this plant next to my bed," like, but bugs.
Yeah.
That's because
Yeah.
he's had bed bugs, and that has traumatized him more than his daddy issues.
I feel that.
I found one bed bug, and I didn't know that was possible, but I asked like people in the know, and it was. And then I told the
yeah.
landlord, and the landlord goes, "Oh, do you want me to spray the place down?" I'm like,
Nah.
"Is this a question?
Nah.
Don't
Just
you
letting
want
you
to?"
No. I just wanted you to know that. Isn't it cool that we got bed bugs?
I'm on the second floor, but I think we caught it. I don't see shit
when it was
underneath
running through
furniture.
all of New York, and we threw out our bed, our couch,
Oh,
half our clothes. We just,
Oh my
like,
God.
we just threw everything out because fuck it. And the best part is, I called my buddy over to help me move the mattress, and like I wrapped it in plastic and everything, and he was like, "Dude," I was like, "This is the biggest favor ever." But we took it downstairs. We go upstairs to get the box spring. When we come back, the mattress was gone. Somebody took it.
No.
With the bed bugs? Oh no.
It was riddled with bed bugs.
No.
That's
would-
poetic justice right there.
Yeah, you don't take a fucking mattress.
But I would have
Nobody-
done that when I was first in New York.
Keith was always looking for new mattresses.
I took a mattress off the
I call
street,
it.
and there was dried blood on
Hellraiser
it.
mattress.
Yeah. He's like, no. I see the piss stain, but I've got a blood stain now. So you trade up the street mattress.
I will say this bed that I have, I just got rid of my box spring that was given to me by a roommate just years ago. And there was this just splatters of this brownish red color all over it. And I'm like, I feel like I remember him telling me a story of like, don't worry, it was like food or something. But why are you eating food on the box spring?
On the box spring,
None of
yeah.
it made sense. But
Right.
I'm gonna have to throw it away a few houses down. I'm gonna take it
Yeah.
over to like somewhere else because like I don't want that in front of my fucking house.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where you store a dead body, in between the mattress and the
Mm.
box spring, right?
Yeah, something like that. So, anyways, we're here to do the thing where I go back in time and talk about an episode of Keith and the Girl that
All right.
these two people were in.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you do a good job, I would say, in history of giving yourself a break. Like, I did my stand up, and then Keith and the Girl week is over, and I'm fucking chilling because, like, we just worked a fuck ton.
Can
Thank you.
you tell Keith that? Because he thinks that I have him back at work. Keith,
I think what?
because you're always like, oh, we just finished doing this thing. Why are you making me do this next thing?
Yeah. He's saying I'm right. We do good. She goes, hey, we're doing Keith and the Girl week. It goes on till Sunday. Tomorrow's poker and chat. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And then she goes, and then so then we'll do. When should we do our show though? If poker, like, let's take off Monday. It's okay, Kenda. It's a people be okay. They'll get it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
What do I have to remember? Of course, I know.
All right.
I just decided to bounce around a little bit because there was really only one show on the 17th. I was like, that's not a choice, and I get choices here. So I went with the 16th.
Oh,
This is show 1961 for
okay.
anybody playing along.
I play along.
Happily ever after with your guests Jacqueline Novak and Chris Laker.
All right.
I
Oh,
chose
fun
that because like I
couple.
fucking love them. I love seeing them in cameos. I love name dropping. Like Chris Laker was in the show I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robb, but just in a dream sequence where he's playing basketball for half a second. And like
Right.
anytime it comes on, I'm just like, I know that guy. Chris Laker, he's fucking cool. And Jackie Novak is in anything that like, Kate Berlant and John Early do, and those two are like on fire for me right now. So
Right.
this was like a very, very fun episode to listen to. And this was what year was this, Keith? Since you have it pulled up, because
I'm gonna guess. I could be wrong. 2014, probably 14.
2014.
Probably April 16th, 2014.
Probably. Yeah. Okay, it sounds good.
That
At this
sounds right.
point, they had been together for 3 years, and they've been together since then. They didn't talk about how they got together, but pretty much Chris moved in like the weekend after their first date.
What,
didn't
a comic? No, stop it. Somebody in the arts?
Yeah,
Hmm.
and he's been with her since then. She moved into a new apartment, and he moved in basically with her when they started their relationship.
They are some of the best couple because you see these comedians getting together and they hate each other and start roasting each other as play, then start roasting each other as real, then they break up and nobody knows whose friends are gonna this
Right.
couple is so sweet and good to each other. And I remember when they first started dating, a lot of people would ask her, hey, do you mind that he's been with all these hookers? And because a lot of his stand-up is, I got clean by the time I was 21. I love doing blow. I love hookers. There was a time that I think he worked on Wall Street, and he was like taking lunch breaks, getting happy ending massages, and like all of this stuff was very upfront, and she was zero phased by it, and just I think it comforted her. Like, I know this dude.
Right.
And everything that he presents is 100% what I'm getting constantly. And it was just so beautiful.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You bring up the prostitution thing that he used to like to do that. Is this the show that I'm remembering where Jacqueline, they do role playing, or she always wanted to do role playing, where she's a hag from like a bar in an old west, and I'm here to fuck ya. And maybe she ties you to the radiator. Who knows? Did she bring that up?
It was that, and he was just like, yeah, I can't really get into role play because of that. Like her fantasies are not very conducive to actually wanting to do role play.
Right. She's like, I'll take off my knickers, and there's gonna be a bunch of plant bugs. Don't worry, they're not bed bugs. And then they could start munching.
Right.
That kind of thing. And she talks sweet, but it's like, but she had this story where she'd just be sweaty and nasty, and you come up and see her and she'll fuck you because she has to.
Yeah, that's what makes this couple special and unique. We'll get to a little bit of that into here.
All right.
Chris was talking about prior relationships and how he finds women or whatever, and he says a lot of people like to hook up in spring. He likes to wait till the fall when all these little summer relationships have all fallen through and everybody's gotten through and they're all worn out. He picks them up in the fall.
Yeah, nobody's got time for the boys of summer. Yeah, wait until everybody's just fucking tired.
Yeah,
it's weird math, but okay.
Women are scrambling in the fall, so that's
right.
That's when he goes for him.
Because you gotta have something warm by winter. Yeah.
Well, Hemda says you tend to not be as picky in the summer because like it's hot, your loins are out, and you're just like, yes, you and you. But then by the time fall comes, you're just like, maybe not so much you and you. So
oh boy, 20-something-year-old me is so fun.
You're still fun now.
Thanks.
So just a little fun thing about Jacqueline. Whenever she talks about her exes, she does a physical motion of like she'll throw her thumb over her shoulder. So like back then, when she's talking about exes, and Keith says, I prefer when my wife talks about exes, she just calls them assholes. So like that's just it. And you guys had a little discussion about when you're referring to past partners, like when you say my girlfriend at the time versus my ex-girlfriend, One just sounds a little bit better than the other. One sounds a little bit more like evolved. My girlfriend at the time versus my ex, you know, depending, I guess, depending on how fucking bad it went.
I like my former.
You're like, that's it, just former.
My former.
You know, Craig says paramour.
Ethereal.
You know that.
Yeah, it's like.
I like to use my mistakes, my past,
My ex mistake,
my old worldviews.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I like that.
but I still
so
do
then-
the arm thing and point back. Don't be confused.
So then Jacqueline says here, or Keith brings up that in Jacqueline's stand-up, she talks about how she dreams about being a prostitute. I think that's how you arrived at that conclusion. And she actually likes the fact that Chris has gone to see prostitutes and stuff like that. You know, she's just exactly what Chemda says, you know, like you guys have a good memory with your guests. It's very nice. And you're doing your
Bless
job
you.
for me. Chemda talks about, speaking of past mistakes,
Yes.
Chemda talks about potentially a hooker fantasy situation when you're walking the streets and your former mistake picks you up in a car and
I was so not into this. I was like, I was so not into it. And like, you know,
it's
I
something
wanted
you really did. It's something you
no,
did.
no. I didn't do
Okay.
it. I didn't do it. It was like his fantasy. And I was like, I guess, but I don't want to walk around like a hooker. And I don't want to walk around New York like a hooker. And I like that's going to be uncomfortable for me. And your timing so far in our relationship has been very bad, and I don't want to be badly timed on this adventure.
Right. It was our first date, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, I think like in hindsight, I think I was like, I don't trust you to be on time. How about if we're on time for like 5 times and then we can discuss timely matters? How about that?
Right.
Well, Keith seemed to have some foresight because he was just like, hey, imagine, you know, he goes and picks up another stripper or picks up another prostitute and drives by. And he's just like, hey, what can I say? My character's a dirtbag. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, Keith read this character quite well, you know?
Oh, thanks.
Wow. No, thank you. Yes, thank you. That feels
Thank
good.
you. No, thank you. Yes. So Chris would go on to say that he doesn't really care about the massage part of the happy ending, like at all, you know. And you talk about techniques of like, how do you identify if this is a happy ending place or not? You go to say like, you know, will you tip me while doing the hand jerking off motion? And that seems to be like a universal, like, yeah, I'll tip you for sure. Go ahead and do the thing.
I heard you don't you put your butt up in the air when you're laying on your stomach?
Well, I think
you kind of like lift up your like, and that's supposed to be.
That's a different ending.
They tell you to turn over.
That's the extra happy ending.
That's the Travolta.
I think I understood. It's like you say you want everything, and then I guess normal place was going to be like, yeah, you got to pick one of the spa packages.
Well, Chris goes
as soon as they touch you, you go, oh. Yes.
Well, Chris goes to the
Chris
goes to the cheap places, which probably won't have an extensive menu, you know, of the everything. It's just like, what, we have A or B. What do you mean everything?
I'm pretty sure that if they make you take a shower before they touch you,
yes,
you can ask for a happy ending.
If they make you take a shower before they touch you, and the woman comes in as you're naked showering in the guy's room to move around towels, which makes it very clear that she's comfortable, you're in the right place.
Well, then you just
I want to say that I used to run a spa.
Oh,
yes. And a massage parlor. And of course. You always make the customers shower first. And the masseuses are definitely comfortable with nudity. And it is obscene at how many men, like, untoweled their fucking organs that were fully engorged at these nice massage women that were working there every day, and it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable behavior. So this logic of like, hey, if they make you take a shower, you could probably fuck them. It gives a bad name to the spa industry. That's all I'm saying.
She's got a tongue ring.
And you just got to be and you just got to be mature enough. This is some years ago, Craig. You just got to be mature enough to know this is the woman walking into the guy's room. She works there. What's the problem? dorks.
Yes.
Well,
Exactly.
what can I tell you? It would throw me. And by the way, I was
I
at that
know, and I'm
spot.
trying to connect you and in turn everyone after you because it is obscene behavior. Oh, look, there's a woman. I bet she wants us to grab her.
Not to grab her, but I did jerk off in your pool. I assumed.
So Chris went to these establishments so often that one time that he went in, he was high-fived by one of the masseuses on his way in.
No.
So yeah, I think that's a sign.
Nice to see you.
You get greeted.
So then he says he likes the fact that that at these jerk off places it's nice and easy and to the point or whatever. But also strippers, you know, they will have sex sometimes, not always, absolutely hashtag not always, but sometimes they will offer sex and they'll sort of negotiate up front sort of things. Like a $200 blowjob, but Chris is like, no, thank you. I know the market value is like $40. Thank you. I'll just come in my pants. And
Negotiates.
I'll get this blowjob somewhere else. But thank you for your service.
If you check Robinhood right now, the price of blowjobs is going down. So I want you to be reasonable.
And he's just like, guess what? I already came anyway, so it doesn't matter, you know. And then Keith goes on to talk about his strip club techniques. Do you want to elaborate on that, Keith?
No, thanks.
Okay. We'll do that.
I would go to a strip club, and the goal is to come right there in my pants and wash it off in the bathroom the best I can, and then get the fuck out. Yeah, I know. I could do it under $40. If they're good, I can do it in $20. Each lap dance being $20. I do remember.
What else happened in that episode, Newsy?
So I finish all over the place, right?
Okay.
Myself. And then the woman starts,
Myself.
and then she starts going like, "Oh, you're not hard." I'm like, "Yeah, we're good." So, but you're not hard. Like she's like, "Am I fucking up?" I'm like, "Yeah, forget it." Oh, I see. Anyways,
Right. Well, I mean, like I said, Chris Laker did the same thing. So apparently, you're not the only person. You know, like it's a thing.
Yeah.
You know,
smart.
Everyone in the strip club is wearing mesh shorts
Yeah,
and no underwear.
we're all
I will
never
never
met each other.
understand why anybody would want to come in their own pants in public.
so Hemda says,
It
"What do
doesn't
you?"
make any sense.
Hemda says, "How do you clean up?" And Chris Laker just says, "It tries." I go back to work and nobody's like looking down my pants, asking me, you know, what is that? And reminds me of when I was 12 and I was first figuring out jerking off. I was doing it in the kitchen, so I could have gotten caught at any time. And so I was just like right here, and then I'm just gonna go outside and play at the park with my friends.
Maybe
That's
wash
That's
your
what I'm saying.
hands.
If you have to masturbate at work, find your boss's bathroom and do it in there. And it's
Because
a
you lock the
2-for.
door.
Because you're just like, I'm coming on my boss right now. Fuck you. And I'm coming on my work. And
Coming on
fuck
company
me.
time. Company time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
that's
I'm getting
interesting.
paid for it. Nice.
Right. That's interesting that stuff never got me off, but you couldn't understand why someone would just want to come in their pants for under $40. Why don't you just go to a strip club, enjoy it, get hard, and then take that energy home with you? Well, I don't know. I beat the system.
I like how he said under $40. That part was relevant.
It's very important because how about you be a gentleman and go in the massage room and pay
You should wear
$600
you should have a pair of tearaway underwear.
Keith beat the system.
I beat the system. She beat me. I beat the system.
Oh, I love that.
If you
So Chris
have
Laker,
to, I'm sorry, they brought up a good point. If you have to masturbate at work, Greg,
Yeah, if you
I
have
wasn't
to
at work. It
masturbate.
was a night out.
Oh, I thought we were talking about work.
with the exception of, I can say this proudly, with the exception of the restaurant jobs I've worked in, I've probably jerked off at every job. So not the
Well,
restaurant jobs.
you have worked with us, so
yeah,
that's good to know.
studio. That green couch. You should all be happy it's no longer there.
Do you know a
Yeah.
studio, by the way?
how did this pandemic happen?
Why not the restaurant worker? Why wouldn't you see have like a hot person at a table?
He just didn't want to have too
Slap
many
one.
listeners angry.
No, I just never had any time. I was always like running around. Where's the food runner? He's like jerking off in the walk-in. Like, you know, I could never be not accountable at these
I thought you
jobs.
got hard when you were in kitchens.
With the chefs for sure. Yeah. So Chris Laker is a touring comedian, and he says that depressed cities have the best strip clubs. They have the most character. They'll be
Yeah.
talking to each other while they're giving you a lap dance, like if you're not even there. So you get to hear their stories and things.
That's what you
So
want.
well, sometimes not, because Keith says the worst is when they're talking about their kids or their cop husbands. It's it's
Yeah.
a turn off.
Yeah. I had one. She's doing the jerk off thing. Like instead of sexy dancing, she's just taking the leg because she could tell it hit my dick right. And she's just like jerking me off with the leg. And I'm like, okay, this is perfect. And then she's like, so my husband's having it tough at work. He's a cop, And I'm like, is this a trick? Like, if I come, you arrest me? Like, what? Who cares this shit? Then she started bringing up her kids. And I'm like, what is it? Now I'm like, it's a game. What else you got? Can I do it?
Mental exercises,
Right.
You got to figure it out. And Chris Laker says upselling is also a turnoff. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I don't need you selling me these extra stuff. Like, you know what I'm here for.
Amen.
So then you ask, how do you turn down a stripper? Because like you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or whatever.
Right.
And apparently, like, no, not right now is like a nice way to do that. Just
I
like
do that. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
right now. It seems like potential for maybe in the future. Like, sure, but just not right now.
I wanna
Let me
come
give you
over-
my phone number and call me later.
That's how I end regular relationships, by the way. I'm like, you've been great, but not right now.
555-1212.
Right. So in the past, Chemda has been asked to dirty talk in Hebrew, which she always feels just really gross about. It's very strange, and it's hard to do because to say sexy things in this language. So she'll just ask sentences that you can just like respond in affirmatives to,
But it's like, that's the language my parents speak. You know what I mean? So it's like, Chemda, you want to have sex? And I'm like, no, not in your accent. I don't know. No,
Are you gonna come now or now? I'm like,
Has anyone asked you to do ASMR with your Israeli accent, Chemda?
You can't. It's
That's a
impossible.
fair question.
Going to sleep, like sing me this. Ask me
so
how
much.
I'm doing,
It is dirty talk is so much. You're already asking someone to improvise with you. Okay. So now like you got to yes and all this shit. Now I got to turn into some character that I would do on a show. Like I prank people in that accent. That's just not, I don't know. It just, oh,
Just
and
big
then
nose
I'm
all
thinking
around.
like I'm such an idiot. I could literally say anything. I could say gibberish, but somehow that's even more work to say bullshit. And then I
And then
gotta
also to like not break character while you're saying gibberish.
and then I'm in character.
I swear to God, this is true. I once had an affair with this Italian woman, and when we were
Isn't
having,
a fair funny? Like you were dating, dude.
I mean, for
Keith
2
Malley,
months while
you
she was
date.
in.
Craig has affairs.
She came to New York to
It was a
like stay
torrid
with me for
affair.
2 months, and then she left. You know what I mean?
Right. Was it torrid?
No, it was
Keith, let him
fantastic.
finish so that he doesn't stifle. Please,
So,
Craig.
Yeah. So so when we were having sex once, she literally was like, Ferrari, Lamborghini. she was just saying words that she knew I knew in Italian. That's how good the sex was, is that she could be that
Goofy.
humorous in the
Right.
middle of it, and it was still hot as fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can
Ferrari,
imagine just being like, yeah, you keep
spaghetti.
saying that. Say all the things.
Right.
Now,
Put your reggaeton in my calamar.
Chocolate
started-
milk in a bag.
I started an ASMR channel. I read the ingredients on cereal boxes
Right.
Do you really?
and favorites.
Color red number 5.
That's great.
Extra hydrogenated virginal oil.
Oh, that can't be good.
Somebody's gonna be into that.
Maltodextrin.
I hope you've also got an OnlyFans for that. So Chris Laker had opened up for Keith Malley just the day before during
Yeah.
this year. Do you remember that stand up, that opening?
I do remember that. So that was very nice of him.
Yes.
He was great.
What album would that have been on?
I'd have to check that one.
Okay. we'll look into this. Me asking questions on the spot as if I didn't have well to prepare for this. Anyways, Chris's website address is one of my favorite things in the world because once it was in my head, it somehow came out in the strangest ways. So his website is everyonecansuckmydick.com. And it
So
links
far, so good.
it links straight to his like actual website, Chris Laker or whatever. But for some reason, like when I was biking around and stuff, whenever I was about to like run a red light or just do something, whatever, I would just say everyone can suck my dick.com. It was my way of just being like YOLO, whatever happens, happens. So I gift that to everyone else. Everyone can suck my dick.com. Also, like, yeah, it's a great feeling to just like say it with your chest, like whatever, everyone can suck my dick.com. So then
The
yeah,
temperament
Jackie,
of your voice, Newsy, is so nice that I can't. When you say like "suck my dick," it just sounds like a friendly suggestion. You know what I mean? Like "suck my dick," and I feel like I'm like, should I?
It's almost like he's British.
everyone can suck my dick.com. It's fine. Everyone likes to do that. And it's weird because I don't like to like do talky during sex and stuff. Like you would think that this deep voice would work well, but meanwhile I'm just mostly trying to like quiet my own thoughts so I can be in the moment. So like I don't have time to dirty talk. I can't do 2-3 things at once, usually
Because he's actually thinking of pasta, rigatoni. Oh, that's like 8 to 10 minutes on the stove. You toss it against the wall, see if it's ready.
See if it sticks, you know what I mean?
Wait a second. Am I the only one that feels like I have to have conversations during sex?
I'd read a book, so I get it.
No, I mean I feel like I'm always talking.
Conversations?
I mean,
but
like,
they-
come on,
they either love
conversations.
that or they fucking
Exchange.
hate it.
I talk always during sex, and I get very uncomfortable when I've been with women that didn't talk back.
What are you having a conversation about? We need toilet paper. We're out of toothpaste.
No, obviously not. It's
About
like,
how good
it's
it feels on your penis, right? What we're
Yeah.
gonna do, Craig, is we're gonna change the category you getting laid to
What do you
what's
talk
the
about?
last
Yeah.
what's the last thing you talked about while getting laid?
What are you
And
chatting
maybe you'll be fine with that.
That would be funny, I bet.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait. So then rounding out this episode, Jackie and Chris just talk about they got some new kittens and stuff. And so my boyfriend's roommate just got a cat, and I'm happy
Small
that there's
world.
an animal in the house.
It's a small world.
Exactly. Small world.
A lot of
small
people have 'em.
joys.
Yeah.
A lot of people have cats. I'm just waiting for things to get knocked off the shelf and stuff like that. Who cares?
Right.
It's not my cat. Anyways, that was April 16th years ago, and we had a nice time, don't you know? And we got to keep going with this show. So how you doing, my bro, Rod and Karen? But I'll also throw it back to Keith to intro them, don't you know?
Whoa!
Seamless. Seamless.
Whoa!
Is that
Hot
DMX?
fire. Hot fire.
Hot fucking fire!
I spit hot fire.
Yes, I do. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, here they are. Karen and Rod Morrow. They, of course, host last week on Keith and the Girl. They sum up the week, and they're with us today to tell us what they observed. Hello, folks.
Oh man.
How y'all doing?
First of all, I feel like we can't start without saying best wishes, 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 best wishes.
Yeah, we had to do it.
I think that was 47.
I hope
Thank
it
you.
was. Ooh, I
It's
lost
the
count.
bullet points that puts it over the edge.
Yes,
This has been a treat.
it
all right?
has.
I guess it's last night on Keith and the Girl. I don't know if we're doing no
The last few days on Keith and the Girl.
this week on Keith and the Girl. How was my day? I'm glad you
Please.
asked. Thank you.
Please.
I had a nightmare and I woke up at 6 a.m. and it was a Keith and the Girl related nightmare.
Get
Uh-oh.
out.
Yeah, I dreamed I was listening to CHU A to do my last week,
Right.
and then him to behind the paywall dissed me and was like, you mean Rod doesn't even show up for the 10 a.m. meetings? And then I really did jump out of bed like, fuck, there's a 10 a.m. meeting and I forgot it. And I couldn't go back to sleep. And so that's how today started. So thanks for
That's so fun. I had a nightmare last night that I got to the show a half an hour late. And I was like, how did that even happen? And I'm
doesn't make
stressing in the
sense.
dream. Yeah. Makes
I'm
no,
like,
I would,
is either of us up at 10 a.m.? Like, what? How did that even cross my brain? But anyway, moving briskly along.
I didn't have that dream, just so y'all know.
they don't
Karen
share
slept
dreams.
till
Right.
like so.
Yes, I did.
You just shattered the illusion.
Moving briskly along because we got a lot to cover. So he's
Yes.
all laughter and applause until the end.
What?
And I do want you guys to know that I count this as being a guest on all of your podcasts.
Yes.
And
Hell yeah.
we're now Diamond Dogs. We've now been on CHU A. We now have daddy issues.
Yes.
You were already a diamond dog, and you know that.
Ooh, you know how we do. Of course, we should start with. Was it okay to start with some of the shows y'all did this week? Is that
Of
fine?
course. Of
That's
course.
what
Alright.
we're doing. Yeah.
Comedy Cake, $33.95.
Yes.
Oh.
So how about KATG week? Me and Karen were both working in restaurants.
Yes, we have.
We can confirm restaurant managers are the fucking worst.
They are the worst. When it comes to them, I believe they are like punks, a lot of them.
Mhm.
And it's very frustrating when you're dealing with them because now when they talk to you as a employee, they give you all these rules and regulations. You're supposed to follow this and follow that. Now you're implementing something that they told you. You're telling the customer, no, I can't give you a refund or whatever.
Right.
And then they ask for the manager. You go to the manager, and instead of the manager having your back and implementing a rule that they told you, they turn it into the customer's always right and let them get their way.
They betray you.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And
I
I don't
lose
know if y'all
respect for
have
them.
y'all had this happen where they actually have your back in your face where they're like, what did that son of a bitch do?
Yes.
Oh.
He wants to return. Oh, I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind. You're absolutely right, Rod. And then you go out there and just see them like bending over and taking it and then selling you out like, yeah, that guy's a fucking jerk.
Here's a free piece of cake, and sorry about that. And you're like, I'm that, you fuck.
and y'all know what? I knew that it was time for me to leave the service industry because I have been waitressing since I was like 16 into like my 20s, closer to my 30s. And a customer had got upset about something. And before I knew it, I yelled and I turned around. I called the manager. The manager's name was Bernie. I said, Bernie! I said, a customer's mad about something. I said, you need to come and talk to him. I said, I don't get paid enough to get yelled at. And I literally just turned around and walked away from the customer. I just walked in the other direction. It was like, I don't get paid enough to be yelled at. This is your job to get the yelling.
Bernie came out and gave him free healthcare. Like just totally rolled over Karen.
Yep, never will. I was like, okay, it's time for me to leave this industry. It's not.
And I went, well, who's going to pay the bill? He's like, it can take care of itself. I'm like, oh, Bernie.
So
Now,
also-
I love Ken's whole point on that about how I think people just go to restaurants because they want the apology. You know, it's always nice to hear. When she used the word bitch, she's dead on. Where the bitch is the waiter, but they want an apology from a higher bitch, the boss. So here's your little bitch card, so that things are free next week. Yeah, the biggest sissies. And when my bosses weren't hiding in the office, they went extra, but the extra makes me look bad. They would just come over as soon as somebody drank their wine and refill the thing, and then look at me like I fucked up. But that's deliberate with a bitch move, because that's deliberately in front of the customer. Like the customer's like, you did a good job. Well, who cares? You're not tipping the manager. It's me, and you just made me look bad for what?
They want you to be afraid of them too. They'll be like, you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Right.
And they're like, fuck, I should fire you. I should write you up. And then
Okay.
as soon as somebody's like, my steak was cold, they're like, oh, sorry, sir. Your honor.
Right.
I'll let me get this plate for you and
Your honor.
fuck my waiter. And here's some free food. Matter of fact, take his tips. Rod,
Well,
give him $20.
Worst thing about that is that you're only paying servers like $2 an hour. So I had a manager who's at home watching on the camera on a Saturday morning, and she called in and said, hey, if you guys have time to lean, then why don't you polish these bar stools and stuff? We all turned around and looked at the camera and just like, no, that's not happening.
Wow, what
Right.
a fun life that manager leads.
Right.
Right. You guys
What's
could
on
have,
TV? What are my friends doing today? Hey, it's nice out. I'm gonna go for a bike ride. No. Let's have time to go tell them rhymes. I'm gonna call them up and tell them about leaning and cleaning.
I hope
and
I'm
then
the first
hang
one to ever
up,
tell him. Yeah.
and I'm gonna feel so satisfied. Oh God, this is so much better than anything I could think of to do with my time.
You know, he tapped the screen first to make sure it wasn't frozen.
Right. That upset me
also-
more.
But to just round this out, this was also the
Mhm.
manager that at a certain point in the night, we would all figure out whose duty, like not it was to order her a lift home because she got too drunk and she was like harassing the customers. And
Wow.
then eventually her lift got shut down because she harassed one of the drivers.
Wow.
She like sexually harassed him. So then
Wow.
we had to start using our accounts to send her home and just be like, hey, Denise, you better fucking chill on the way home. But you know,
What?
that's the restaurant life, right?
That is you know what? It is the restaurant life because nobody who didn't do that understands this, that there is no rules for you. You get fired, you get fired then, and
Yeah.
that's the end of it. There's what they can't ask you to use your Uber. Okay. They can't. I also allow 2 half-hour breaks. I'll tell them.
Right.
Well, I was double bitch on one job. The managers used to leave after the rush, and then it was the head waiter, quote unquote, was like
Right.
in charge. If something went wrong, I would have to go talk to him. And I was like 20 something, you know, and I had a guy crack his tooth on a fucking rock in a salad and like all this shit. And I'm just like, I don't know, just call back tomorrow, send them the bill, you know. I couldn't. I
Fuck
had
'em.
no power. I was giving
Right.
away everything. Oh, take it off the bill. It's like, yeah, what's a bill?
Yeah,
feel-
lead
Give this
server.
man some beers. What's that? Yeah, the head
Lead
waiter.
lead server
was 22.
when the manager's away, it's like fucking Robin Hood, bro.
Oh, yeah.
French fries for
Yep.
everyone.
Yes.
And then I
on.
was just giving out the Mexican cokes to all the cooks, and then I would literally
Not my
get
shit.
behind the line and
Uh-huh.
cook my own steaks and crepes and shit. It was
Uh-huh.
kind of good.
That's what
This
we
is-
used to have. Like at my at IHOP when I worked there, we used to have like the waiter staffs would be like racist and shit, and they wouldn't want to take the black tables, and
Nope.
they try to give them to me.
Mm.
Yep, they
And
did that to
then-
me too.
They wouldn't say it explicitly, but
Yeah.
just you notice the pattern.
Yeah,
you know what I
they-
mean?
they
It's
take my table. You be like, but black people, I've kind of picked up on this.
So I started
they? I
just
didn't
giving
know.
away free shit for the revolution. I was just out there like,
Like the power.
I was just out there like, y'all want a craft for orange juice or something? They're like, isn't that expensive? I'm like, it's on the house. Don't even worry about it. And
Here's some real
Standard
shit.
policy.
That's not only towards you. That's literally every single restaurant, every
Yeah.
single server
Yeah.
there.
Well,
The
Keith
most
and I worked at a
woke,
spot where the owner specifically
anti-racist
said-
person there is like, I'm not taking that table.
Yep.
Keith and I worked there for a place with his Greek owner. He said at the staff meetings, and it's good intention, but I don't know. But he's like, if you get a black table, they have a rougher life, and you have to give them extra shit. But so you'd be like, you give a table something, and they're like, why are you like, oh, what's this for? And you're like, I don't know.
You don't sell them on board. Like, what?
No,
Doesn't
it's
feel
called
right.
reparations. It's
It's
reparations.
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't even think about that, but it's one of these places. Me and Roger loves to go to this place, and you know how they have like the bar area section, and so we had got to know the bartenders really well. So I like mimosas. So one day we were sitting there just having a good time, and the bartender was like, they made us some extra mimosa, like the big crab. Would you like it? I was like, yeah. So this might have been that. Hey, you
Yeah.
got to take care. I was like, you know
Well,
what?
at the-
I got you.
At the bottom of it, if you look at the menu at the bottom right corner, it normally says gratuity, but then underneath that it says reparations.
Yeah.
Like one's 10%, one's craft. And I also do agree with you guys. The pandemic movies hitting a little too close to home because we can't really do shit.
Right.
And the movies are all like somber and sad because Hollywood couldn't really do shit either. Like they have to make all these like we're just stuck in the house or
Just like you.
you know, it's like I kind of missed like the big budget, blow some shit up,
Yeah, the
kill a bunch
fantasy
of people.
world. That's why I came here.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I missed that shit too. But I also, in all fairness, I feel like Keith never really likes movies in general. So
But isn't it's fucking strange? Like I don't like them, but I obviously love them. I pay for the unlimited. I see everything ever made. So what do I love?
You like movies like people who go out to restaurants like restaurants. They like to go out and complain.
What if there's someone in Hollywood making movies and they just feel like how you feel about Kyle, or you're like, she says she likes movies, but then she sees them, she fucking hates the movies.
Right. She says she likes broccoli raw. It's $12 and you never eat it. That's what it's like. It's like, then why did you see part 7, Keith? I'm like, why did you make part 7?
I feel like there's gonna be a day where Keith goes to the theater and he just watches something so bad where the lights come up at the end of the credits and he just says, I think I'm done. I think I'm done.
He's just gonna walk out and just slowly walk home.
That's it. You ruined it for me. Yeah.
It's gonna be Leprechaun Part 8, and I'm like, the end.
There's just gonna be like one single tear going down Alan Smithy's face or whatever. Like,
Right.
I made Godzilla versus Kong for you.
Yes.
You.
The Hulk music gonna slowly play as Keith walks away.
Right. No one was just
what was
walking
the,
around. Right. Nobody was shitting in a bucket in an RV. It was 2 monsters fighting. What do you want?
What was the poll, Keith?
Oh, shit. Well, what I do is I go to keithandthegirl.com, right? We all know this.
Yeah.
And you click on
Don't
the
worry,
show.
we're live.
And we do polls on there, you see. And what you do is you click on that show right here, Comedy Cake. I can click on comments. That takes me right to the forums. That's one way to do it. And the poll was, are you able to recommend a 2021 movie yet? Yes or no? 62% of our audience say, no, hasn't been a movie yet this year I can recommend.
Can I say, I think that I clicked on yes because in my mind, I could recommend a movie whenever. Because what is time?
Oh.
I clicked on yes because I recommended Bad Trip to him and Xerxes.
Bad Trip was good.
So in all fairness, I had to say yes because
You
I was
fucked
like,
up.
fuck, I already did it. Ah, I want it back. I'm sorry. I didn't know you wouldn't watch it. Let's get to the next episode.
I forget. There has to be. Was there a movie that on Keith and the Girl I recommended this year so far? There's got to be.
No, I don't
Very
think there
Promising
is.
Woman. Was that this year?
Nah, yeah,
I
didn't
want to
like
say
it.
Nomad.
Nomad was good. Nomad was good.
Wait,
think.
how do you get to say that you like that movie? Because
You didn't-
literally
don't
every
fall for
single
it, Craig.
episode.
I'm sending you to boarding school. I'm sending you to boarding school.
Oh, hey, whoa, hey. She means it. Right now.
All right, guys, calm down. She's packing up stuff here. We got to move briskly along.
All right.
Okay. Episode 3396.
I didn't know. I'm like, God, it's been a
Yeah.
while.
Getting ahead of
That's right.
myself. I'm planning to do this for a long time. It was the live show Spectacular for Keith's birthday.
Yes.
Best wishes.
Thank you.
Calvin Cato, Micah Fox,
Mhm.
Christian Finnegan, Ophira Eisenberg, and Kevin Allison. This is an all-star
It was
lineup.
so much fun.
Now, was this your birthday gift to yourself to pick this all-star lineup, or was this just like was this your gift to Keith? Like, how did this work out?
It was
Keith, how
more
did it
her
feel?
gift. It was more her gift to me. But it's everybody that I love.
Okay, so the way to book a live, this is going to be our first virtual live show. We want to get the favorites of the people watching, but also the favorites of us, people we don't have to worry about, people who are going to have the best stories, who are going to know how to tell the best stories, who can take a hit if we're going to punch them a little bit. We know where to punch them because we've been punching each other for a while. So to me, that's fun. It takes the load off, and I think it worked out. I'm very happy with everybody.
Now the audience is understandably in a tizzy right now.
Yeah, I just realized.
And it's unfair to take the magic away. So as you can see, they typed in the names, Karen, for you to read them to us. Remind me on my birthday who the guests were, please.
Everybody get a kick out of this.
It's
like I said,
amazing. What was the I'm sorry, Rod, what was that restaurant again?
She said,
always turn up.
she said she would like to go to Susie's Bakery.
That's
Right.
not the name.
I sent a picture of the of the building to Keith. It was Suarez. Suarez.
I look at it, I just see an S. I was like, Suzanne Rogers was like, no, that's not the name. I was like,
you get credit. I will give you the credit because no joke. I'll be telling someone, no, Tijuana Bakery. It's the place down the street next to the Mexican restaurant. Tijuana. Oh, it was it was Susan. Sorry.
So go ahead.
Do your magic.
Do my magic.
Yeah, do your magic.
Okay, do your magic. Starting
The
with
David
Calvin's.
Blaine of names.
Right? You never know what you're gonna get, but I think I'm gonna get this one right because I actually tried to practice on this one.
Okay.
Newsy, Calvin Cato,
Okay.
Micah Fox,
Right.
Christian Finnegan,
Okay.
Ophira Eisenberg,
All right.
Damn.
and Calvin Allison.
Yeah.
Very
Oh,
close.
so close.
Oh,
Very close.
I tore
So
it up.
close. Oh man.
Oh shit! I fucked up the end.
now,
Kevin.
That was so good.
It's
Oh
Kevin.
my God.
It's Kevin. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Ta-da!
My
the best.
bad. I almost made it to the finish line and I tripped over the last hurdle. Please forgive me. Don't shoot me if you're listening. I didn't do it on purpose.
Oh man.
I slipped her $5 to do that.
It wouldn't be fun. None of us can make it funny if we tried. And you do it every time.
It's not on purpose, I promise.
It's so good.
now, Roderick, did it take a while for her to get your name right? Like first, second, third date or something?
I don't think so, but I don't remember now. I'm gonna assume I just was like, I think she's talking to me. You know what I mean?
Cause now
She's looking at me. Words are coming out of her mouth. It's probably me.
now,
We're
see,
fucking. It's probably me.
I will say this with Roderick. I say his full name. His brother's name is Rodney, and his daddy name is Roddy. So you can't just say Rod because
Right.
everybody just goes Rod, and you have three people looking at you. Or when you're calling your boyfriend and everybody's getting a deep voice, and him and his brother, his dad all sound the same. So I just call everybody out by their full name. So it was something that I couldn't forget.
And then me, Ramrod.
Bernie Madoff is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something.
I really thought he was gonna serve those 150-year consecutive life sentences, and it's a little sad to see him only make it like 3% into a sentence, but you get the justice you can get. The citizenship test, Ophira passed it.
I would flunk that.
She's officially a citizen. I think they should flip it. If you fail it, you get to be American, because that is the most American thing. They should tell you that you're taking it for real, but then at the end they just switch everybody's shit and they're just like, no, you're too smart to be in this country, and we're doing you the favor. Get the fuck out while you can.
We just got the dummies here. Go away.
They're like, Jinx, you live here now.
Yeah.
Or how well you do determines what state you go to.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're like, this plane's been flying for a while. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look at you like, oh, my bad. We're going to send you to Florida.
No takebacks, by the way. You can't go back and straight up for a better country. It was a little weird that the head of diversity for the BBC said Luther wasn't black enough,
Right.
but then he used black stereotypes to say he wasn't black enough, which feels racist to
Even
me.
worse.
He was like, this nigga don't smoke weed. He don't have no bitches. I was like, that's not
That's
not
how
okay.
this works. No.
Black men can't have white friends and slight drinking problems. That's not black enough for you. He has to eat Jamaican takeout to count as black. This seems like a weird fucking barometer, dude.
Right.
That's all right. He's just in charge of diversity, so don't worry about it. Keith's dad finally gave a clue to where y'all come from.
What?
Yeah. In the birthday, Ken's like, where?
I've
Tell
been
me.
looking for this whole time. Thanks for sharing, Keith.
All you had to do was ask myself.
He showed these Easter eggs. Didn't our ancestors surely know how to dye those Easter eggs? Didn't they? And so Ophira said, "Oh, those are." What did she say? Ukraine? those are Ukrainian eggs. And I go, okay, done. I'm Ukrainian. Solved.
I think
feel like
what
he's
he
gonna-
was. I think what he was saying was, does the chicken come before the egg?
It was a philosophical card.
Yeah, it was very philosophical. You're not reading into this enough, Keith.
There's
I
another
understand
level.
why your dad hates you.
Everything I tell you, I assume there would be 18 questions. And you've never asked.
We're really Egyptian. This is a different type of clue than what you thought it was.
Keith, have all your siblings done DNA tests? Like, what if something was slightly off on one of your siblings?
Look
stuff?
at their faces.
Oh, good point. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
I told everybody what they are. We're 18% corn. We're no, I mean, I think was it you, Ken, or somebody else? Where when I said that I'm 1% Eastern Jewish,
Yeah. I remember you saying that.
and who said? And then somebody told it to Dad, right? Who was that? You
Oh,
or
I
not?
don't know the details of that. I just remember the end part of the story. You know, when it became funny.
Yeah, it's probably Mark then. Anyway, somebody said that, yeah, Keith's 1% Jewish, and he goes, no, we are no percent Jewish. Like, okay, you also met Hemda, and I dated her, but okay, there's no way anybody knew a Jewish person.
Yes,
No.
you did, my son. You did date her. And how did that work out for you?
For the best. Oh, are we asking me?
Hemda, it's still my birthday. Come on.
Pretty well. What was the poll?
The poll was, would you be able to pass the American civics test right this second? And one person says yes. Apparently, George Washington listens.
I guarantee
was
that
Ophira.
person is not American.
I think I could do it.
Whoever said yes is probably like Appia. It's probably they're not. No one from here can pass that test. We're stupid.
How many seats are in the House of Representatives? Craig Klein.
5.
More than 5.
He listened to the show.
More than 5.
More than 5, I
Five
promise.
He listened to the show and he still won't get it.
525 something.
Yeah,
I see on the thing
538.
it's 435.
538.
538.
I think you're safe,
538.
Craig, because this test at a minimum is multiple choice.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
not-
Yeah, I would get it.
essay.
I would
I
get
feel
it.
like it's not multiple choice because to get in the country, they're so racist, they make it hard. They're like, they'll never get this because we're too stupid to get it.
I think she said they give you 100 questions to study, and then they pick a random 10.
Right.
Easy peasy.
Too much work. I feel like I just be in there freestyling, like, I don't know, Canada? Shit,
Yeah,
that's not
always.
a state.
No.
When in doubt, pick C.
Now through
Got me
through
this
the-
far.
let's go through the Keith and the Girl week, okay?
Okay.
KATG week 2021. All right.
Yes.
First we had I got to attend all the events this week, which was pretty cool. All right. I didn't know if I'd be able to do it because I'm a busy person. But then I remember how fun everything is. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I have fun doing these things. I'm gonna make it work because I'm my own boss. And that's what I did.
Yes.
I went to Silent Trailers.
Sound Trader was fun.
And the kid is back on top. I'm proud to
Yes,
say.
got that streak happening. Clothes were taking off. People were missing socks.
People were getting straight up, butt naked.
Yes, we had orgies in the background.
Oh, let us tell you a little behind the scenes about that orgy in the background, okay? Gilbert got free. Well, his wife comes in for the sound check. She does the sound check for him. There's a green screen behind him. And I was thrilled. I was like, wow, super professional. Headphones, microphone, green screen. And then we're checking everybody else and talking about how the show works. And suddenly you hear a kind, gentle voice in the background going,
Motherly.
a motherly voice. You want space? And he goes, yeah, I want space. And
Like
then
space to be in the background. Yeah.
for the rest of the chat,
Oh,
she's changing between space and puppies and God knows what. And finally gets to the porno. They're both cracking up.
It's an orgy.
They're trying to explain how the show works to everybody. And I'm like, and they keep switching. Then they come back to the porn, settle on the porn. And Keith, Keith, he usually says things like, hey, that's going to be distracting. Can we just keep it normal? Nobody said shit to Gilbert. Nobody brought it up. It was going to be what it's going to be.
Because he
And
had that picture on as his wife's, like, he had on like a sweatshirt, but a zipper. And like, she's just like putting it over him just like a little better so he's warm. And I'm like, all right, they got to figure it out. They're porn and he's a baby and it's fine.
She was adjusting
beautiful.
his shirt.
Yes, it was.
Honestly, when juxtaposed with his face of cluelessness for the
like, he
whole
didn't know what was happening.
hour
didn't
and
know.
15 minutes, like,
I swear to God, I have like 25 screenshots that I caught of him just being like,
yeah.
I told Keith the night before, there's no way from beginning to end that Gilbert is going to understand what the fuck this game is about. He's going to be clueless no matter what you say to him.
Yeah.
Now, Karen,
Yeah.
can you read the guest for this
no.
show? I put it in the chat. So if you have the chat, I think it's important. This is the journalism that they've hired us for. It's important to read the names, and I think you can probably do it better than I can.
Oh, word. Okay. Gilbert Goffrey,
Okay.
Doug Benson, Lacey Garrison.
Sure.
Close enough. Okay, close enough. Nikki
I like how
Bond.
you judged it yourself. Like, that's good. She'll be fine with
Like,
that.
that's about as good as it's gonna get.
I don't think there was one correct syllable, but yeah, close enough.
And Wendy Starling.
Who was right before that? I don't know if I talked over it.
Yeah.
Hmm?
What about before Wendy? I think you skipped one.
Lacey and then who?
Nikki Bond.
All right. It's good enough to pass the citizenship test.
Yes.
That's true. Wonder how many you can lose out of 10.
Minus.
But yeah, I do feel like rooting for Keith. A lot of people don't like to do it. Now, can you feel that energy while you're in the chat and everything, or when you're in the show? Okay,
of course I feel it. And it's not just by the words that they write in the chat, like fuck Keith. It would be it's a vibe, it's an energy. And even though I'm not I don't believe in God, I do believe in energy, and of course I can feel it.
Well, I think what it is we all know you're the kid, and everyone likes to root for the underdog, and
that's what I think,
the contestants are the underdogs. That's
well,
all.
I switched it.
Here it's Doug Benson, not as much an underdog.
Right.
And I switched it to now I root for Keith, and I now finally I want to apologize because I finally understand what it's like to root for Tom Brady. Like I've never rooted for that side of anything before, but now I'm like, this is kind of fun. So I get it.
Thank you.
Let's get some more Super Bowls, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Keith came out. He put his foot on their neck, and he didn't let up. He was like, "I am in it to win it."
I also like the competition now of guessing what the category is.
Yes,
it's like I think that should count for some points too.
Me too.
It's the only way they're gonna stay close to the kid. Okay,
hello,
because there's no other way to stay in the game.
Hello.
KATG movie night.
No, I lost it was at least 3 silent trailers in a row I lost. And there's got to be something to Keith has to be good at this, or then what are we doing? Then it's just it's going to be kind of stupid. I feel like and then when I was getting it this time it was like, okay, things are right with the world.
It was the dark.
That was
times,
important.
man.
Yeah.
So also about the categories before the show, I like to post the categories now on our Reddit page. And I have to convince Xerxes every time. I'm like, I'm going to post the categories on the Reddit page. And Xerxes is like, but then everybody will know it and Keith will know it. And I'm like, do you think they really understand what the hell we're talking about?
Right.
I made it into a contest and only like 2 or 3 people got it out of 5 categories.
Yeah.
So
she's like Sherlock, and then you're like, what the fuck? And then at the end, it's like all these movies took place in the elementary school. And you're like, what? Only him, this brain can make that connection. It's fine. Tell us whatever the fuck.
I was so excited by that one. You know that was mine. Some of them are Xerxes, but that one was mine.
Well, I think during this last one, when I knew a clue, I don't think I shared it. Normally, I always share it. Like, I believe this means it takes place in space. Now I'm like, okay, no more clues. I gotta fucking win already.
That's why I think like maybe Rod is right that they should count as points, because what you're doing is you're giving up the clue to your opponents in order to get the points. So you have to make that decision. Do you want these points now, or do you want to keep throwing Keith or the other
Ah,
contestants?
that's another level to the
Maybe.
game.
Well,
This
look
is
at
what we do.
spreadsheets.
We
Yes.
innovate on last
Ah.
week of Keith and the Girl.
I
We come
like
up with
that.
some new shit
I
for
like
y'all
that.
to do every
Yeah.
week.
And you know
More
what?
work.
And as the rounds go up, the points should go up. So
Yeah.
you know, whatever amount of points it is, that's how much it is if you throw out the
Mhm.
title. Yeah, I like
Shout
that.
out to Xerxes who has to put this together.
Yeah, Xerxes.
Shout out to more work to you. Shout out to you.
Shout
And
out
I'm
to
looking
Bianca
at him
Brady.
Shout out to Bianca
Shout
Brady
out to
as well.
Bianca.
She know them crosswords and all that shit too. She would have been good at this game.
Is she doing okay? Have we gotten an update from
She
her?
she passed
Mhm.
away a month ago, but Craig, maybe we can
Feels
fucking talk
like that
about.
should have come out a little differently than it just did.
Is she doing okay? Well, you
Maybe
really
the
just threw that
trombone
grenade
from
out there.
Destiny.
that could have tanked the whole night. Well, actually, she's in
Craig
a
went
coma.
for it.
She's on a
Right.
ventilator, and we were just kind of hoping to raise some money for her. But thanks for bringing it up on my birthday.
Right, and people in the chat like are pointing out Craig does another hit of his vape DMT, and they're like, he's wilting, his eyes are falling down, and they just pops in, hey, is this person alive?
Yeah.
Right, good to have you back, Craig. Fingers crossed.
KATG movie night. First of all,
Yeah, she's doing good. She's doing better.
Karen missed this event because she was sleeping.
I was so tired. I didn't realize.
Peacefully.
I'm sorry, y'all. I was
And
so
honestly,
tired.
don't apologize. Honestly, I envy you. You won.
Stupidest
Okay.
movie ever made.
Because
This
my
movie-
plans were to wake up, y'all. I clear it was.
This movie was so bad. I hate this movie.
I thought he was gonna wake me up. I woke
I know.
up. It was 9 something.
I normally feel like I like everything, and I was just like, who made this fucking movie? Why is this okay? How can we live in a world where this got sequels? That doesn't even make sense.
Because you have to consider that there was a time when you couldn't go on the internet and see tits, and there was a time that you couldn't go on the internet and see gore whenever you wanted. You know, I can see a guy getting hit by the train any moment I want to. I could be on the train and like, you know what? I think I want to see a guy getting hit by a train, and I'll look it up on YouTube. And sure as shit, I got options there, right? Back in the day, it was like, I just want to see blood. I just want to see what it's like to have a skull crushed, and then Leprechaun suffices. You know what I mean? It was a
Well,
$1 billion
I will
industry.
say, if I have to watch a bad movie, I want to watch it with Kyle Ocasio. I want to watch it with Mike Lawrence. I want to watch it with him. I want to watch it with Keith. So
Okay.
that makes up for the shitty movie, but it was a shitty movie. And after all the bitching that happens on this show about shitty movies, to subject us, the audience, to the shitty movie, it did feel, I just want to know who hurt you. Why would you do that to us?
It's literally the only movie I ever saw. But I do think even just the line that made up for wasting your time at all was Mike Lawrence talking about the handsome Kevin Bacon lookalike going, that's Kevin Turkey Bacon.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that was
I
the
think
best
made up
line.
for it.
But that guy was the stripper that slept through the entire summer school. Remember Summer School, the movie?
I loved Summer School. Yeah.
Okay, remember the stripper kid that slept through the entire semester and then woke up to take the final and he aced it? That's that guy.
Well, look at that. Good for him, because Summer School is up there. Summer School would be in my top 10. No
Oh,
exaggeration.
yeah. Easy.
Mark Harmon. It's fantastic.
Mark
Now,
Harmon,
this is
what a
when
guy.
it was one of the only 3 movies I saw when I was under 18. My dad had it on Betamax, and we ran it raw. But it was so good.
It is literally the whitest movie. I'm looking at the faces across the board here, and I'm like, oh shit, we're all.
Leprechaun might be whiter. Like Leprechaun, I
Right.
think had one black dude. I do
Hey,
appreciate the writing.
I got scared for the black
Oh, it
guy
did
when I
have
saw
one
him.
black dude.
Yeah, I do
That
appreciate the writing for the black
The-
dude, because he did what
but-
every black person would do if you called them and said there's an emergency with a leprechaun. He's like, hey, all right, man, we'll be out there. Fuck this shit. I'm gonna go take a smoke break.
Oh, I thought we were talking about summer school. There was one black guy in summer school, and he got locked in the bathroom at the beginning of the movie and didn't show up again until the very end.
I'm being told that he's the guy that
smart,
actually aced it. So he was locked in and then
I
passed the
locked
test.
himself in there.
There's
Fuck
one
that shit.
I feel like back then there had to be just one black guy in every movie. Like that was the quota and the limit at the same
Yes.
time. I'm like, whoa, it's getting dark around
There
here.
can be only one.
Somebody saying not locked in. He was just taking a shit the whole time. I'm thinking of the book.
VIP night. Let's get to tonight. Okay?
Yes. Oh, you talk about what's happening right now, even Look at
Right
this.
now.
Okay.
This is last night on Keith and the Girl.
Meta.
Right.
I was going to
Tonight.
say
Woke.
meta.
Wait 2 hours to listen to this. This is last night on Keith and the Girl. Daddy issues.
Yes.
This shit has gotten so out of hand. I forgot about Bridget. That's
Yeah.
like a whole. You said Bridget. I was like, when the fuck did this happen?
This happened.
God damn. I think you should reuse the card.
Mhm.
Send it back with new words. Just mark out what he wrote, write some more shit for your side, and just mail it back to him. And
Should I
I told
write
him-
back, return the sender, but inside, fix how he spelled innocence wrong?
mark it with grades.
Yeah.
I told him to find like a really nice sentimental picture of him and his dad when he was very young and send it to him and write on the inscribe on the side. This is when I realized you were dumb.
But he'd have to Photoshop. He doesn't have any pictures with his dad.
Do like a movie and cut his head out of the picture
Yeah.
and like put somebody you like's head in there. Like, this is me and
Put
Ted
it on
Danson.
Hulk Hogan or something.
Mark Harmon.
Oh, you said someone you like.
Mark Harmon.
And I know I brought this up, but Ken, the reason he has these pictures, these specific pictures, we got from him scanned, shared with him when I got married, his pictures of me young, pictures of my ex young.
Wait, there
So
are
that's-
pictures?
So that's the folder that he has. He's like, oh, these are the cute pictures of my son in this folder called Keith's Wedding. Like, okay, pervert, but like everything's tainted by you now. Do not use
Do you think he looked at both files? He looked
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
the
that's
cat, the
weird when
cat
he's
folder.
using that the other side
Yes.
of that aisle
Yes.
for.
You missed the 5 versions of that card that he didn't send you.
They had a cat on them.
Well, those were ruined, if you know what I mean.
The
Yeah.
fifth
Oh no.
I do have to say, I also got caught jacking off when I was a kid by my dad in the
Yeah.
computer room, but it was like 1 a.m. because like I shared a room with my brother. So like, where the fuck I'm supposed to jack off? You know what I'm saying? I can't be jacking off with my brother in the room. That's
No,
ridiculous.
you can. Just
Ken
put
does
that
not.
one out there.
I did several times, but that night.
So I was sorry. I remember like Mark hearing Ken, you know, the youngest two, hearing Ken and like knew what it was. Like I wouldn't have
Yeah.
known. I was so sexually clueless. But Mark was like, "Stop it!" And he's like, Ken's like, "I'm just looking for my glasses."
Are you saying this
3
wasn't a
a.m.
good cover? Because I felt pretty good about that one.
looking for my glasses. Dark 3 a.m.
How do you guys look for your glasses?
In my underwear. Everyone knows that with the
So
sock.
they're not here again.
That was the hardest thing about having to get LASIK. I'm like, well, now what do I say?
Right. And when
I'm
you're that,
sure
it's just like I gotta look for my glasses every couple hours. You know what I mean?
I'm so confused at how all of this is happening outside of the shower because where do you get the shampoo bottle to stick up your ass?
You lived in a house where you could take showers whenever you want. That's cute. That's cute.
Whoa! Wow, that's a damn, dude.
You didn't share.
Just
You didn't
sucked
share
the life
bath.
out of that one.
You didn't share all the bath water.
I was beaten. My grandparents were in the Holocaust.
But yeah, me and my dad never talked about it again because like, why was he going in the computer room after midnight? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's kind of like game recognized games. Like, we know what's up, right?
He was like,
I
what the
think
fuck?
my
Just leave
dad
it
did
open,
that
leave it open.
once, and he was like, "Bet,
Yeah,
I'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
my
We don't
bad.
ever have to talk about this."
I didn't realize it was your time. You know, let's get
Well,
a
those dad
schedule.
emails I would check, like when my dad sent them, and I'm like, 3 a.m. and mom's upstairs, and you're disgusting.
Yeah.
You didn't just
Yeah.
write a letter.
At this point, I think the most ridiculous thing that could happen is if you did forgive him. That's the only crazy thing.
That's the sequel book, by the way.
Yes.
It starts
Now that I
off
think
with
about
chapter
it.
1. I forgive him.
Right. No
He's been
problem.
testing you the whole time. He's been trying to teach you about the Bible and forgiveness. He's putting you to the ultimate test.
That's true.
Bang your wife and see.
Yeah,
if you can
he's not
forgive her.
making me like kill my son. He's not making me do all these things Jesus made people do. But
You send
we
them back
go.
a thank you card. You know what? I get
Right.
it now. You made some good points in that last one. I see where I went wrong. Diamond Dogs, them goddamn dogs.
Them dogs. Ow!
Roof, roof.
Back in acoustic surround sound.
Yes.
There's now been more women on Diamond Dogs than there have been in late night shows. Breaking barriers
progressive.
over here. Keith never said what he was yelling. I noticed you asked what everyone else is yelling.
Probably something broccoli Rob or bad hummus. I don't like when they jiggle the camera.
Yeah.
Give me a sandwich, but it's not really the sandwich he wants.
I think it feels like I'm always yelling.
Yeah, he's always yelling.
Yeah. I still have, my girlfriend said, hey, can you get carrots, celery, Brussels sprouts, the good hummus, and pine nuts on the side? It's still in my fridge. So, and she never ate it. And, I'm like, they have hummus with pine nuts. She goes, no, I'd rather you paid $68 for pine nuts on the side. So now she was just here today recording her podcast. So that means she goes in my fridge. She sees it and ignores it.
Wow.
Because it's still there. The Brussels sprouts are gone. Celery still might be good. Hummus is there. You see it there and you just ignore it like I'm never going to know. You never even wanted it.
See, that's why what I do is I start getting like one of those not see-through grocery bags, and I put that in my fridge. I'm like, here you go, love.
Right.
As far as she knows, I'm the best boyfriend ever.
I should
She opens the bag.
I'm going to
She
sneak
never
it
opens
into
the
her
bag.
Right.
She never knows.
Yeah, it's Schrodinberg. What is it? Schrodinberg's bag?
Groceries, yeah.
Schrodinger's groceries.
I'm gonna put it in her like backpack. Like I know how to sneak a card or something. I'm gonna keep putting vegetables in there every time she's over.
Just print out a picture
and you know what?
of it
Honestly,
and put it
Keith,
in there inside
she'll-
of a plastic container.
She'll find herself in a situation. She'll be like, you know what? I was just standing in line somewhere and I was hungry and I looked at my purse and there were just these carrots. It was so amazing.
Start sneaking them to her place slowly.
Yeah.
It's like bring over one carrot in your pocket every day. And then next thing you know, they're over there and she's got to deal with it.
Well, she with 3 kids, she's stressed out all the time. By the way, if kids are so stupid, and I guess that's the nature of kids.
I agree.
If you would just calm the fuck down, you could really get away with anything because there's just so much stress naturally. But somehow you push it, and the joint's still in your mouth when you open the door. It's like, dude, you could be running a drug business on the side. You're just being so stupid.
Him to say poon, and it wasn't even the worst thing said on the show.
Can you believe that?
Wasn't even close.
2021 is my year.
I think this is when you're gonna bring poon back. 2021.
Yes. And
the year of the poon.
Yes, and you know what? From now on, when me and Roger have sex, I'm gonna say I'm bagging it and tagging it, baby.
There you go.
Yes.
Law and Order, Father Malley. That's the next thing we need. I think that would be a great series.
SVU.
It can be an anthology. CHU A, or as I like to call it, Last Year on Keith and the Girl. Sandra, oh my God, this episode. It was so good. Good job, Newsy. Okay.
Oh, thank
I
you.
love when you sing the opening song in the same register as a Negro spiritual.
It just comes out of me, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Like nobody knows. Like, all right.
That's actually the next song that I'll be singing. So, what
We
foresight.
also had plants in our house for a while, or as I like to call it, slowly murdering a plant to death.
Yeah. I tell everybody, if you want a plant to die, send it to me. My fingers, like people say green fingers, I have black fingers of death. You put your plant in my hand, it's going to die. For a few years, we had plastic plants, and everybody was like, "Oh, they pretty." I'm like, "Oh, they're not real." I was like, "Because I ain't got to water them. I ain't got to. That's why I don't have pets. I will forget about them."
Now, see,
I thought you were gonna say you killed the plastic pants.
No, they just got dusty because I wouldn't dust them either. If dust killed them, they dead too. Then.
I found a way to do both, by the way, to have live plants but never have to water them. I found cacti. They've been dead for 3 months and no one knows.
Yeah.
Wow, your cactus looks great. I'm like, thanks.
I got a snake plant for the same reason. They were like, no one can kill this plant. Guess what, motherfucker?
I've killed them. They tell me that all the time. They be like, you can't kill this. They're annual. They'll always come back. I was like, watch me, bitch. I bet you
Just call me
the,
OJ.
the wandering Jew plant. It's like one of those beginner plants that you like can't get rid of even if you try to get rid of them.
The wandering what?
I don't know what the other name was. I'm like,
there's another name, kid.
Nope, it was never came up.
The
All right,
scientific
that's
name
it.
for it
There's
is
too many
wondrous.
bald head white guys on this
Yeah.
episode.
It's called a cactus.
No, it's a fern. It's a fern.
You
There's
guys
also
have
the Jew ear, but these are actually outdated names, kid.
Yeah, why?
I really was. I'm like, what's it called? What's the other name for this?
Is it wandering because it travels or because it makes you ponder things?
It travels. It's a traveler.
It's a.
You just don't have to pay as much as they asked for it. That's all I know. I don't know what I call it.
The hooker fantasy. Sometimes me and Karen do that, but it's not that sexy. Like if one of us has to go do something and the other one's driving the car, when the person comes back to the car, we'll be like, "Hey, you working?" Or
yeah, how much you charge? Yes, he'll be out trying to get the car. Like, how much you charge?
Yeah. One day we're gonna get arrested.
I know they're gonna arrest us for prostitution because before you get in the car, I mean, like, how much are y'all rates, baby? They're gonna be like, "Ma'am, you're under arrest for soliciting." I'm like, "But this is my husband."
People are like, "Is she easy or is he smooth?" Because that went pretty fast. She just got in the car.
That dude got a lot of game.
Yeah,
Or she got a lot of money. I don't know.
They was like, "There's no money exchange hands, so if they cash apping, we need to investigate this."
I like that they have their story straight already.
Yeah. Oh, well, of course. Just in case. You hear us on the news, you know what happened. You heard it here first.
Right?
Timestamp this. Is coming in your pants at the strip club worse than jacking off at work? And why is Craig so comfortable talking about both of them, but he doesn't want to talk about getting laid?
Newsy show sets you up just right,
it's-
gets you in the mood.
It's the voice.
I don't mind talking about sex. It's just the
Nice.
same question every week, and it just feels like it's. Oh wait, it's happening again, isn't it?
Yeah.
It
You
is,
were
but
talking
by all
about
means,
getting
keep
massaged.
going.
You were like, because when Keith was like, "Do you getting laid?" You were like, "What about the gender and misogyny within America?" And then when we got the Newsy show, you were like, "It feels good on my penis when I'm getting massaged."
Yeah.
And
No. Opposite
Nice.
of that. Opposite of that. Do not
Boarding school.
insist.
Boarding school.
Yeah,
That's our
there we
safe
go.
word
Oh,
today.
shit. Oh,
It's
thank
let me
you.
tell you guys something. It's something about me that when we'll do Diamond Dogs, Craig will be laying down on the bed, microphones up his ass, so it's internet. I don't know what he's doing. Kind of just like I'm basically in charge of this now. He shows up. I'm on time. Hey, I only did half a ketamine bottle. The microphone's not moved around. It's very offensive.
I respect Hamda.
once we got the Newsy show, he's like, "If you have to jerk off at work," it's like, "Wow, this is a new Craig."
Yeah.
This is different. I like this.
Well, listen, you don't want to jerk if you have to jerk off at work. And
Like gun to
believe
your
me,
head. Yeah.
there are situations, especially if you work mornings, you know what I mean? There's like
I
a
think
funk
it's,
that you can be into in the morning, and you're just like, you know what? I bet if I come, it just will neutralize the bad.
It's easier for me to name the jobs that I haven't jerked off.
Best part
at.
of waking up, apparently.
It's part. It could be part of waking up, and sometimes it's a must.
Some people
And
like
you don't
coffee,
wanna do it-
Part of
jack off.
waking up.
You don't want to do it in your
Valid.
car.
That
Stick in
nut.
your hand.
Tugging out a nut.
If you have a car, you don't want to be doing it in your car. You certainly don't want to be doing it in the public bathrooms. And then I found that, whatever executive, there's always a private bathroom for the head honcho somewhere. Just look for it. Every building has one. There's a private bathroom.
You have thought
Find
about
the-
this way too fucking much.
And it's
It
about
is
the
now turned
person
into
and
a
not
jack
the
off
yeah.
heist. You like Ocean's 11 for jacking off.
Yeah. And then you can. So then you're like, I'm jerking off on the clock in my boss's office, and it's like, do you remember that old Upright Citizens Brigade skit, the ass pennies?
Right. He puts all the pennies in his ass, and then when he doesn't like somebody, they touch his ass pennies.
Well, he just knows, no matter who he comes in contact with, that the likeliness of them having something that has been up in his ass, he has the upper hand. He knows something that they don't. I feel the same way about my boss, and I swear to you, if I saw them today, I'd be like, You know,
All right.
I know something you don't
There you
know.
have
I
it.
was so naughty inside of your, like every Thursday.
Don't tell Craig that there are cameras everywhere now.
Right. I also like the rules, the secret rules that you just said that were like supposedly well known to everyone. You're like, well, obviously you don't want to jerk off in your car. You want to
No.
jerk off at your boss's desk.
I found that out the hard way.
Common
No pun
sense.
intended.
You think you
Alright.
lose keys between the seats? This guy has made some mess.
All right, y'all. That's it for last week on Keeping the Girl.
Yes.
All right. And I guess that's it for tonight on VIP night. Thank you for
Thank you.
you know having us. I've been glad to be your
This has been
attendance.
fun.
And I hope everyone had a good time with this major crossover worlds colliding.
I really
What is
love
this?
hanging out with you guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's
Same.
good.
For our sequel, by the way, we're gonna mix and match all the members.
Yeah.
right.
Daddy Issues is now Karen and Craig.
Diamond Daddies.
Next thing you know, I got to ask my dad
Yes.
somehow, are you getting laid? You know, it's gonna be crazy.
Craig, you ready? I got
I'm
stories.
trying to, son.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We can handle this. I'm sure of it.
Daddy issues, I'm on top of that.
He's trying to get laid. That's the problem.
All right, should we do lick my suck mine and get out of here?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm betting 1,000.
All right, the answer is either balls or the answer is nuts. As soon as I'm done, I'll write down the answer so you know I'm not cheating. What is the answer? What is the next word? Balls or nuts? La, 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 la. Pick it up, Mr. Rocket. Now kick it. Okay. Lick
Nice.
my balls, lick my balls, suck my nuts, suck my nuts, suck my balls, lick my nuts, lick my balls, lick my balls, lick my nuts, lick my balls, lick my nuts, suck my nuts, lick my balls, lick my balls, lick my nuts, lick my balls, suck my nuts, lick my balls. I'll suck my nuts and lick my balls if there's any confusion. Suck my balls, lick my nuts, lick my nuts, suck my nuts, suck my nuts, lick my balls, lick my balls, lick my balls, lick my balls, excuse me. Lick my balls, suck my nuts, lick my balls, lick my nuts, lick my nuts, suck my balls, lick my nuts, lick my balls. I see people guessing, but I honestly don't know yet. Lick my balls, that was a clue though. Lick my balls, suck my nuts, lick my balls, lick my balls, suck my nuts, suck my balls, lick my balls, suck my. I'm writing it down.
Balls.
Mm.
I'm going with nuts on this one.
I'm going with balls.
Balls. Balls
The only
on
thing that
ya.
makes this worth it to me is watching the chat blow up right now.
Mhm.
I mean, I think
500
that-
people are giving guesses.
I think that the tell here was that he said balls, and that's the clue, which
There
is
was
what
something
he would.
with that.
And he would say that to throw us off, but then he'd know that we would be thrown off by that, and then he would make, so.
Allow me
leaders on the
to.
bus.
There's a little context here, right? So I'll give you a familiar
Please.
perspective that you guys don't normally have.
Please,
So
please.
you'll notice that when he said that's a clue, right? That
Yeah.
started with a C. Now, C is the third letter of the alphabet. However, in ancient Sumeria,
Oh,
it's
no,
also
Dad.
linked with the tilde. So when he says lick my, what he's actually saying
Is
Balls.
nuts.
balls.
Balls.
I went
Gotta be
nuts.
nuts.
I went
Show
balls.
me them balls.
Oh,
Balls on ya.
Balls on ya.
I can't believe I
Balls
just
all in your
screamed for
face.
balls.
And this guy doesn't want to talk about fucking. Okay.
fuck! I gotta brush up on my ancient Sumerian.
Everybody, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. You're the funniest and coolest people we know. Kenda, that's been a fun week. Let's do
Yep,
let's
happy
do more shit
birthday.
tomorrow. Happy birthday to me. Thank you.